Okay, finally we're starting. Greetings, friends, and welcome to Tales of Ithalian, where a group of nerds and odd ducks play D&D. I'm your storyteller, Jaron Noble. Today we have COIL, DATH'TAN, SAAKA, Care, and KELSION. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Goodbye.
I don't think there's... Stop recording.
Good night. It was good to see y'all.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
That's later.
Just cut that
not yet.
at the end.
No real announcements besides hopefully we're going to be getting more recordings up soon. Next few weeks.
I get how we say that.
Laughter from one of our editors.
By the time this goes up, it should be done.
Merry Christmas. I don't know when this is going up.
Happy Valentine's Day, because that's probably when I'm going to get it done.
Happy 2022.
It's unfortunate what happened with that meteor, but you know, we're still working through things.
We're all talking from gas masks.
That COVID-20, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yes, the Batman!
Yeah.
Oh, we're peeking the mic so hard.
Oh,
that's fine.
Alright.
Can you peek my mic?
Oh my god.
Alright,
We could cut that out.
I'm
Cut
super
that from
glad.
there.
Alright. Anyways, honestly, good to see you guys. I think that we should have some stuff up sooner rather than later. But without further ado, get comfy. Let's begin. Last we left off, the party known as the Menagerie had released DATH'TAN from his overnight stay at the guardhouse. After doing a little bit of talking with the captain, you then headed back to the Hook's End to discover that the books that were given to DATH'TAN by Rala, his lead into the blood order he had been tracking, were taken. To attempt to get these books back, it was decided by the Menagerie that it wants to be in the good graces of the bygone guard, and perhaps getting leeway or some sort of favor owed could get you the books back. So, to the job board in the center of town, some of you went, where you gathered yourself a job about beasts attacking innocents on the road. While presenting this acceptance for the job at the guardhouse, SAAKA returned in short breath, telling you about another one of these portal-opening flesh buds being stitched together by a strange feature, not too far off as she was tracking a lead of her own. You all, deciding this was serious enough, informed the guards that you accepted the job and went outside of Repton and into the Thistlewood northwest of the town city. You traveled until you found these burrowed tunnels and holes within the place, and DATH'TAN, beginning to try and sniff out the scent of it, was beginning to investigate, up until the point of these certain creatures hopping out and beginning to attack. Keltisks, these mangy dog/viper monstrosities that came out and attacked you. The fight was short, as most of you dealt with them quickly, and began to chase the last one that was fleeing down into one of the tunnels. It ended up leading you into the sewers, which, although you had a few problems getting in, you managed one by one to get yourselves into the sewers and tracking. You followed until you found what seemed to be this trail within what you assumed is a blocked off section of the sewers, as no flooding amount of water was moving in or out, but instead it was just a thin layer of water and muck and silt. Through the disgusting smell, you pushed through until you found steps leading down to a passageway, until you finally entered one final room, unfinished it looked, where there you saw a figure cut apart, the last beast slashed into ribbons, and there standing is a creature awaiting you, challenging you. And with one step, he began his attack. And that is where we left off. So, Menagerie, I'd like to start off by rolling initiative.
I don't want it.
Well, sucks.
Well,
Contain it.
you know, with a high enough...
Music's going to be a bit scarce,
Yeah,
but we're going
maybe.
to try and get it through.
Who, what, why, where?
Murdering ugly thing.
Shits, fucks, roll
Right now.
initiative.
That's not the right music.
Yep.
I like that.
There we go.
Might need to drop the volume.
Sure
Why
thing.
on the board?
That was ANETH. I don't know if we're...
I
Do
was
you wanna-
other Kelsion.
Other calcium.
People
No,
know
because
what
other
this is.
Kelsion is copied.
Yeah.
Oh. What was that yesterday? Last week. Oh my gosh, I can't remember.
Yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
Do you have a Satyr other main?
All of you seem to be standing in this
Big
large
ideas.
cube-shaped room. The waterways that you had seen beforehand are no longer existent. Just a path a few inches lower than the stone floor around you, making a lip on this path side. This path stretches out and makes a stunted T in this room, splitting off to the left and right walls. These high walls, you see half-circle cut holes made in the stone walls above you, on all but the back wall in which you entered from. Iron bars are installed into these cut holes, looking untouched, unused, and without marks. Whether it's keeping something from coming in or out, it's hard to tell. The smell of the sewers is wafted in here, just not as potent as being out in the main tunnels of the sewer. The darkness and blankness of the room makes you think that something was left unfinished here. Now, just as before, there is this creature standing before you. Okay. You see that its long, bone-like blade fingers drag across the ground as it moves. As it cuts across the ground, KELSION DATH'TAN, as you were hit with it for your tiefling resistance, you hold on and even just feel some of the burn that you feel heat just doesn't hurt you as much, which you're grateful for with how much just gore you just got spewed all over you. You look and see ANETH is just barely standing up. Her entire body, her cloak that she was trying to use to cover herself is burned through and in partial tatters. She's in heavy breath as she's looking about. A little bit of help over here. Okay. So. Well, that's super cocked. Get that away from my dice. 25 to 20.
21.
21 also.
Okay. Who's higher dexterity of the two?
I'm at a +5.
I'm also at a +5.
Okay, roll off again. This is just, you both are at 21. This is just to see who goes first.
11.
13.
Okay, DATH'TAN first. Good.
Yeah, because I don't like going first because I need to figure out who I need to heal for the round.
Oh,
Which sucks when I roll
CAEDRIK
high.
is with
I
you
think
guys.
ANETH earns that spot.
Yeah.
So someone roll for CAEDRIK.
You have the stats.
Hey, to play Satyr again.
You have the stats.
I would not be complaining about having another cleric in the
Yes.
I'm not. It's just last time I had to go at the beginning and end of combat.
Which is good.
I
You
had no time to plan.
are two
We had
clerics
all the
in
time to
one,
plan.
okay?
20 to 15.
15 for Satyr.
20 to 15. Anyone else?
16.
Guys,
Okay, good.
I need time to plan between characters.
Yeah, so you plan when everyone else is going.
Okay. 15 to 10. Roll for him. That's not very good, but he has good dex. That works, actually.
I know, I'm sorry.
10 to 5.
6.
Big oof.
What did you roll?
You'll be there in a little bit, Kara. I will inform you when you are in.
While I'm running down the hall, I'm casting mirror image on myself as my
Kara,
the daily.
just to cut
Okay.
back to you.
Okay.
So as you have, it took you a while, but with help from your associate, you got pushed up and you see that there's this little half-cylinder cut in what seems to be where the sewageway water would be running, but it's no longer running. It's just silt and muck and feces that has made a thin layer on the ground underneath the water.
Okay.
It's disgusting. You've traveled in sewers before.
Mm-hmm.
You stand up and dust yourself off. Give a hand to Lux as he... disgusting. On his
boy.
red cloak and hat that he seems to carry on him.
Levi, you stay away.
This time I won't lose control.
He
Oh.
he looks to you. Lead the way. You see the several footprints within the silt and muck that you believe your friends have traveled. Or your allies.
I'm gonna spare the spell slots for now and just slide down. Go for it.
So as you climb up and you begin to walk,
Oh.
to finish the description,
Okay.
although you're in the waterways, there are like pathways.
Okay.
There's like 3 or 4 foot pathways up
Okay.
that you can just climb onto, and there's paved pathways that take you through what is the arched tunnels of the lime and sandstone
Okay.
cut squares that make up the sewers. And as they just turn left, right, go for like ahead, you do see that there are some like tied around boards that seem to interconnect the sides if someone were wanting to be up on the paths, which quickly steps up on them and is walking more at your side as you're just following the path of your friends. After a little bit, though, you do hear what seems to be some cries and a scream or so of
Okay.
not of panic but more of battle.
Okay.
And then you and Lux, looking at each other, begin to take off. So if you're doing a prep spell, go ahead.
Yep. Mirror image. That is the 1 day thing I'm doing from the book. Is
Yes.
mirror image.
So as you run, you stick your hand out, and as you do, it almost looks like your assistant, your small boa constrictor friend, slides out of your arm, and as it does, it hits the ground and turns into another care that begins sprinting with you. Okay, so I believe for now that's really everyone. Am I forgetting anyone? DATH'TAN, KELSION, COIL, CAEDRIK, Care.
You got yours, yeah?
I got a 4.
Yeah.
Guys.
That's right.
Neat.
Yay!
SAAKA.
Yeah!
So, top of the round. DATH'TAN.
Yay.
Okay, Calcium.
Let me start planning.
Okay. Gonna run up and hit it.
Eat it.
I'm gonna whack it.
As you run up, you once again see like the tight skin across its ridge, the body that is like split in some areas, showing the bone underneath. And you look at what is from the chin all the way down to the chest cavity, the open 2 folds of flesh that works at his mouth as the teeth like breathe and heave and
Lovely.
close together. And you begin to see that from where it spewed, blood is beginning to well back up, like it's working its way back to doing what it just did beforehand. As you're covered in gore, you run up, pull the broadsword out.
20 to hit,
That hits.
and I am two-handing the broadsword.
Okay. D12.
Oh. 18 damage.
Nice. As you bring down the sword once, it tries to bring up its long, and as you see, it is a very tall being. This is maybe a 12, 13 foot tall being. And as you run in, its claws almost has like a 10-foot reach on you as you run in. So you dodge to one side and you swing in, which, with its deadly reaction, is able to make an attack on you when you come into its range. So you attack it. As you strike down into its collarbone, it sinks in an inch or two, it stops. You feel the bone, it's hardy, and it catches, and as you try to sink it down lower, it's just not giving. And at the point that you see this, it raises its claw and makes this strike at you, almost just cutting down in an attempt to carve down your body. Natural 18. That is
Hits.
25 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. It's claw attack. $18 points of slashing damage.
Ouch.
As you get
I'm
carved
not
down,
looking good.
all of you watched as DATH'TAN, from like top of his face down his armor body and to his legs, they are deep surface cuts. As he staggers but holds on to his blade by one hand, he pulls it, bit out of breath.
Really not looking good.
Okay, is that your turn, DATH'TAN?
Yes.
Kelsion.
Okay, so
As you like step back, then it goes.
okay.
Insult me.
It speaks.
So let's see. I'm going to start. Yeah, I'm gonna start with a mirror image.
As you...
It's a good spell.
Yeah.
It's the one I always have ready.
Mhm. As you feel the cloak come over you this time, you channel the energy and several Kelsion spread out.
Then moving. Here, anyways. Right there. So I have flanking, and I will attack with hand axe.
Okay.
Of course, they're both 19, so 26 to hit.
Yes. Yes.
That's 11 damage.
11. Nice. As you run up from behind, you look and you see the...
Scratch that. I mistaked because I wasn't paying attention.
You did a casting and an
I
attack.
did a casting
Gotcha.
and an attack.
Taking that back, don't worry. It's been a week, don't worry.
Alright,
You look at a cantrip.
I'm going to cast.
I will say, as you run up, you do look and see your companion staggering to keep his footing. Was that 5 HP you just lifted into the air?
Maybe. You didn't see that.
I'll keep that in mind.
No, you won't.
So in that case, since attacking, I would have moved here. I'm going to cast Command.
Okay.
Which is Wisdom save.
Wisdom, yes.
Okay. That is a 10.
Total?
10 total, yes, fair.
Cool. My one word, flee.
Okay. He runs out of the arena right when someone walks and kills his full.
I'm hoping you guys are coming from this way.
Yes.
Yes. So
That is
he's
the
gonna either go this way or that way.
Okay, it is a 3-way hallway. All right.
Yeah.
So this is not really a hallway, as I said before. This is like a small lip.
Sure.
There's a few inches before this is just it.
Got
But
it.
this is the stunted T within this unfinished cube
Okay.
room. It looks
And-
like this place had a purpose for the sewers, but was just completely cut off.
Kater and Lux are coming from the behind?
Yes, from
okay.
this back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone kind of like walked up the steps, walked close to it. This thing challenged them, and as soon as they stepped forward, it unleashed a held attack.
Okay.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. That's
Is that your turn?
Halcyon strength. That's action, bonus action, movement.
Movement you're wanting to take.
I've already moved. I was here. I would have moved here, but then I remembered can't attack, so I would have moved up to here.
Okay. So as you run up, instead of trying to get behind it, you run up and just stand next to DATH'TAN a few feet away. As DATH'TAN's right up against it, you stand just behind him with your small grouping of Kelsion clones around you.
Okay, so that's my turn.
Okay. Let's see. COIL, it is your turn.
Okay.
Alright. I'm going to use my action to go up to this guy here, and I'm going to doot. No, I'm going to use my Whistle the Lamb, all 3 charges.
Isn't it a cone in front of you, Nate?
It is a 10-foot wide space and a 15-foot line,
Okay.
I believe, or 20-foot line.
So you may hit
It-
friendly
so
strike.
if you-
So,
I mean,
depending on the angle
you
you have, you're going to hit either DATH'TAN or Kelsion.
might be able-
If he moved in a different direction,
Yeah.
maybe, but as is right now, shooting either from this way or this way is his options.
Yeah.
If you were to go around Kel to Kel's left.
You could be clear of it, yes.
Oh, sorry.
Like
So
that?
that's what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is a strength?
Strength saving throw.
That is a 9 total.
Okay.
It fails and takes
66 bludgeoning
Wow.
damage. Wow.
Better roll good, boy.
We are launching into that one corner.
You need D6s?
And I believe it's pushed back 10 feet.
Oh, that's not what I want. Carrier.
Oh, you won't?
Yep, 10 feet.
Okay, so because you used all 3, it's 30 feet.
Sweet. 14 points of damage.
14
There
points
goes
of
my
damage.
flee spell.
Well, it's gonna flee even more.
Yeah.
I'm a melee attacker, guys.
Yeah.
You get it so far back, I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna make a dex save for it as it's tossed in the air. That's a fail. So an extra 3d6.
Flesh art.
Extra
That was
11.
hard.
Yeah.
So 25 points of damage total. Nice.
I was like, wait, what? And then when you said
I couldn't
flash, I was
remember
like,
which
yeah.
And then I'm gonna use my.
So as you see Coil run up, he like stops on a dime, and as there's no like silt or muck up here, it's just the plain stone. He catches himself, blows into the ram, and at first, nothing. Everyone just kind of stands there, and this beast doesn't even pay any mind until Coil is lifted a few feet in the air as this large ram is formed from the wind and shot out. It strikes into this figure and it sails 30 feet before landing on its back.
I really like my new toy.
Kira would be so proud of you.
I think we're all looking at him like, did you know you could do that? I know you could do that. Did you know you could do that?
That almost hit me, but thanks.
This ram just carries this guy 30 feet before he slams into the ground.
That makes me
Okay.
so happy.
Yeah, first use, and you got some mileage out of that. 25 points of damage in a single thing.
And then I'm gonna use my bonus action to give Bardic Inspiration to DATH'TAN.
What are you saying to him?
I'm gonna look over to him. No. He might not think it was impressive. I thought I'm impressed.
Aw, that's sweet.
You look over to DATH'TAN, who's like leaned back, dripping blood. You look over and you just see that happen. Look back and he's giving you a small thumbs up. And you know what? You're impressed too. Okay. From there, it is CAEDRIK's turn.
You do not have much
Can
time.
I get some human?
Yeah, I know.
A
Okay.
little more hurt.
Ants on 10.
Okay, never mind. You are very hurt.
So for CAEDRIK. 5. 25. And that'll be Cure Wounds to DATH'TAN.
Okay, curing.
Yeah, sorry,
So-
I'm just pulling up the.
Yeah, no problem. So, DATH'TAN, as you're like kind of beginning to step and regain your balance fully, you feel a hand help like position you straight. The gauntleted hand of CAEDRIK is, you're all right.
14. Cool. Got a good max roll out of that.
Okay.
Alrighty. There's
And then-
that. Just because I haven't used it before, I know CAEDRIK has.
Mhm.
Can you select to use the Destructive Wave Channel Divinity after you know whether or not someone has passed or failed a
You just
save?
use it. It's when you cast the spell it happens.
Okay, so
It's
you,
not when you know the save, it's just when you
Okay.
cast the spell.
Alrighty. CAEDRIK will cast Shatter with Destructive Wave Channel Divinity.
Ah,
Okay.
Which is what I've been trying to figure out.
oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
No, as far as I know,
Destructive
there's nothing.
Wrath. Sorry. It's the wording that I was mixing up.
No problem.
Oh, so it's when you're rolling damage.
Oh,
Okay.
so you can activate it when rolling damage?
Yes. So
Understood.
when you're
So
at
you
the
can
point
know
at
the
which you're
save or
rolling
not.
damage.
So
Okay,
you're gonna
so
wait then?
I will wait until...
Okay. So you're casting Shatter.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you're most definitely in range.
Yeah. 10 foot starting, I guess, there.
Just gonna try and get him up against the wall.
Yeah, keep him in the corner. It's like when you ragdoll
Bully
the enemy
him!
and you keep him ragdolling.
Don't let him finish the
We're
get up
gonna
animation.
animation lock him, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a 10 plus 7, that is a 17.
I believe that beats CAEDRIK's DC.
What's
Yep.
what was the saving throw? Con?
Constitution.
Con. Okay, so +7 for con.
Oh no, my bad. I thought it was Dex. That is only
No.
a 13.
Then it fails, so yes, I would like to use
Okay.
Destructive Wrath with this thing.
So as DATH'TAN, you feel a bit of the wind come back to you. He steps in front of you and goes, "Let's hope I don't miss." Once again, the same thing that you saw before, this small ball of thunderous, crackling energy, this dark cloud forms in his hand, and as his eyes seem to cloud over with this storm-like, almost like lulling trance that he's in. He fires it off, and it lands right at the foot of this thing, and as its head is like looking up, it goes wide as this thunderous explosion goes off, rocking this room once again.
That is... Sorry.
Just doing max damage.
Yeah, max damage from Shatter would be 24?
Oh, that's 24 points of damage. Wow. This is a pretty good first round for you guys.
Wouldn't it also add his spellcasting ability modifier?
I'm not seeing that, at least on the spell.
Well, due to homebrew.
Oh, yeah, with Homebrew, so that'd be 30.
Okay. So another 6?
Yep.
He has a +6 to his wisdom?
Yes, he does. He's at
Gotcha.
22 for the score.
He's gonna be dead by the time I get there.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I wield unlimited destruction in my hands.
CAEDRIK seems very accomplished with himself up until the point that he looks and it's beginning to pick itself back up from the wall. This thing should learn to stay down. It is now the Maw-Claw's turn.
No, it's not. It doesn't get a turn.
Surely what we just did has to count as some sort of hate crime.
Yeah, probably.
Hate crime against maw claws.
Yeah.
As it stands back up first. Nope. Let's not get its blood spew back. As you stand in this wide cavern, he turns. And you see that with one start, he steps onto the wall and begins running up it.
It's a neat trick.
I mean, he is moving away, so he is abiding by Flea.
True. But you did take a ton of damage.
So he gets up to
Flea
the
doesn't-
ceiling.
Flea, yeah,
Oh.
it's...
Oh, okay.
Once I cast it, it does not matter what damage they take.
40 feet of movement. Almost to the ceiling before you see that he seems to almost pulse. Like there's almost like you, this mirror image beginning of this spectral tear as there's multiple forms of him as he cries out in this cube-like room. And as it closes, some of you begin to notice that the shadows of this room begin to curl and turn. And as there's no light except for the small twig that's more or less dropped on the ground behind you, all the shadows and darkness around the area begin to like turn and twist slightly. You see this gray color begin to come to it, almost like a foggy cloud, and this dark green energy begin to pulse within it. everyone within. That is everyone.
So for the
Even with it
flee,
being
for
40
the
feet up?
command spell, a lot of the indications are it does the command and ends its turn. Does this evil Super Saiyan nonsense count as that?
He is running away from you, technically.
It spent its turn moving away from you by the fastest means available.
It began literally running up the wall.
Gotcha.
Does that include dash?
Yeah, so like, and the other options for it are like falls prone and then ends its turn, or
Okay, gotcha.
drops what it's
In
holding.
that
and
case,
then
it's
ends
just going to
turn.
take its turn dashing.
Okay.
So it was almost up to the ceiling, so it is up on the ceiling
Oh
now.
my gosh.
So did
Not
that
to
just...
deprive you of whatever cool nonsense that was going to be, I just saw the party wipe in my future.
I foresaw this moment.
I foresaw this party wipe.
Okay,
Rules
So-
lawyer, rules lawyer.
no problem.
Dial
SAAKA.
911.
Yes.
It's your turn.
Sorry, he's on the roof.
Can I make it to the squishy squishy?
What's a squishy squishy?
That's not me. That's I'm sorry. That's Anna.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Can I stabby stabby the squishy squishy?
Yeah, if you want to, go ahead.
I don't like that. I don't like that answer.
Just
Explodes.
yeah.
I don't appreciate that.
It was a bomb all along.
If you want to is a very dangerous phrase.
Give me a roll, I'll give you an answer. How about that? Does that make you feel better?
No,
Better.
that doesn't make me feel
Make me
better.
feel
Let's
worse.
actually like to rage, and then
Raw.
18.
18 to
I
hit?
do.
That hits.
I would like to roar at it, and then
Roar
take a bite
XP.
at it. No.
Shut up, dude.
Do you need more d6s in here?
Do you need more
I
d6s?
just need one. That's it. Oh shoot!
Wow.
That was awful.
Roll better.
What? Excuse, do your job.
I am.
He tanked?
I did tank.
He got, yeah.
Don't defend him.
I'm not even in the room.
I know. What is it? It's only 13. 13. Or not 13.
It's plus 2 for rage.
Yeah, 13.
13 points of damage. Okay.
It's a plus
So as you run up, you see that this piece
Did you
of...
reroll for Blade? Do you have Great Weapon Master?
I don't.
Okay.
It's so sad.
No, Barbarian does not have fighting style.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're good.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah.
Yes?
I was thinking like, oh, there's the feet. No, but it doesn't
No.
matter. What feet did you take?
Sentinel.
Oh, cool.
Really not.
So,
So probably
in
not
this- in
helpful
case
that it
this
ran
thing
away.
tries to get away from you.
Yeah.
So as you run up to this skin bud with the teeth that are interlaying over itself, the small bits of bloody, like clotted veins that are sticking into the ground, like cracking the stone around it, you run up and you hit it. And although you cut within it, it doesn't like pry it open or tear this thing apart. You cut into it, and as you do, hot spewing blood just shoots up at you and towards your body and face. I need you to make a dexterity save.
Just pick it.
Yeah, just do it.
Alright.
I'm trying to go.
You're making it last so much longer. It's being picked up.
It was also quiet there.
There you go.
Shoot, 13.
It's what?
It's a 19.
14? That succeeds.
Oh.
Half damage. You take 2 points of fire damage.
Fire.
You get burned a bit. This thing's a bit hardier. You, I don't think, witnessed how it was taking out the last time as you were dealing with gnolls. But you're kind of confused as to how this was so easy for just the big wolf, and
Yeah.
it's not for you.
Can I just take a bite out of it? Will that work? Will that like...
It works for a big wolf?
Yeah.
Well, we have another one.
I don't want to do that.
Let's not do that.
I'll pass.
Every time that's happened, bad things occurred, usually.
That's
Yeah.
the end of my turn.
Okay.
The last one I transformed into like a cave.
So you're just
thing. I
roaring
can't
and kind of thinking of biting this thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Accidentally.
Like
Okay.
Sneer.
Tasty.
Top of the round. We're going to come in on your turn.
Okay.
DATH'TAN.
Did I give you back the Luckman's file, or do I still have that?
You handed it back.
Yeah, I did. Dang.
You want it back.
I want it back. Hey, where'd you put it?
It's on his person.
Is it like on your belt, or is it in a bag?
I believe I have it in a bag.
Dang it. Okay. In that case, let's take my action and transform.
Cool.
Grr.
Woof.
Awoo.
Yes.
Bork.
Bork.
No roll necessary.
Bork, bork, I am dog.
Okay then.
Somebody throw him a stick.
Well, that's all I want to do.
Point the musket.
That's your turn.
Yes.
So, as you see this being run up and is seemingly above you and slowly moving towards your direction, not you specifically, but towards the group above you on the ceiling, you see that its eyes go from darting around in this just fervor of trying to get away to suddenly, once again, focus and locked onto your
Yeah, I
group.
can't really shoot the bolt at it as a bonus action, so you know.
Seeing this, you instead begin to grow angry, and as you begin to transform and just tap into this inner strength within you, this inner burning anger, you don't feel that it tries to abuse you in this moment or take over.
Wow.
As you stand, you're in complete control, which is a new feeling. As you look up at it, you just prepare for what might happen. From
It's
there.
like point my sword at it. Intimidate me. Menacingly.
KELSION.
There we go.
Alrighty. With the height,
whoop.
with the height difference, I don't know the exact math. Would they be within 60 feet?
He took his sprint action. Yeah, it's about 60 feet up.
Alrighty. I can tank a bit, so I'm gonna at least move a bit forward. Move up to that corner. And I'm going to... When passing by DATH'TAN, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on him.
DATH'TAN, as CAEDRIK is behind you and has slowly begun to move around you to cast this spell, you feel another hand just slap onto your shoulder, as it looks like one of the mirror images, but then clearing through, you do see the physical KELSION grabbing onto your shoulder and giving you a bit of healing before passing.
That's another 12 HP back.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
I am now even more tankier.
Music's not working.
And that's a level 1. I'm going to then cast Sacred Flame on the monster.
Sacred Flame. All right.
Yep.
Dex save. Natural 15.
And it's going to save from that.
Yeah, with its plus, it saves.
Okay.
As you aim up and you try to coalesce this energy around it, it looks like this golden pink ribbon begins to spread around it, but before it catches a blaze right in the spot, it cuts this ethereal ribbon into pieces, shredding it.
Well, that's a turn for now.
COIL.
Alright.
You watch as this thing just runs up and is now on the ceiling. You get a bit of light from the small twig that's dropped on the ground behind you, but besides that, it is dark in here and you're relying on your dark vision to track him.
Alright.
Oh my gosh, music is not wanting to work for me today. Apologies.
It's all good.
Alright, I'm going to use my action to cast Fairy Fire.
Fairy fire. Okay.
which is a 20-foot cube.
Yeah, that's not good for it.
Good.
Huzzah.
And that is a dex save.
I believe so.
Dex save.
Something that is good for it.
Let's see how it goes.
He's not rolling well though. That's a 15 total.
What's your save, Nate?
16!
Yeah!
Buggers!
So as you point your finger into the air, this small silverish bead shoots out to it. And as it begins to fly at him, it's almost like it takes off like a firework towards it. And as it sits there, it looks to almost block and tense, ready to block incoming damage, but instead it hits and looks like this white batter and powder just spreads across it. Is that all you were doing?
And then I'm going to use my action to give Bardic Inspiration to SAAKA.
Alright, what do you say?
I'm going to give her a thumbs up and say, do the thing, do it good.
Thanks, kid.
As we murder things in
Yeah.
front of his eyes.
Do the murder good.
Do the murder good. Do you have one
Can
of
that
the,
be a shirt?
Do the murder good. Cat thumbs up.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Trying to balance music and combat at the same time. That's not working with me. Is that your turn, Coil?
Yeah.
So as you stand a bit off to the left, you call out to SAAKA. As SAAKA, you're a bit frustrated at this situation you're in. You get a little bit of just a small grin that's you don't know if he sees or not, and you don't know if you want him to see right now, as you're still frustrated at this flower, but you can't be mad at the kid. But you get ready to take another batter up swing as soon as it comes to your turn. CAEDRIK.
Bad things.
What kind of damage is that?
A lot to damage.
Instant
Fire.
failure.
Yeah.
Internal fire. Internal fire damage.
And also, if none of you have dark vision, emits dim light in a 10-foot radius.
I think all of us have dark vision.
Yes, I don't think there's a single
Just
person
in
this
case.
group that doesn't. What is CAEDRIK doing?
Why can't your turn take longer?
Yeah,
Alrighty.
what is he doing?
As he hangs up on the roof, you see that he's beginning to almost vibrate this energy as once again, as said before, these ethereal pieces of him begin to like tear off and pull themselves back into himself as it's multiple almost mirror-like versions of himself screaming in the same silverish green and gray energy.
I mean,
Attack rolls have an advantage against him if you have attack roll based things.
yeah. The problem is, we have a lot built up on, like, just being close range.
True.
Yeah, CAEDRIK's a bit more of a battle cleric.
Okay. I mean, I can do it again.
Can you do shatter where his feet is so it launches him off the roof?
That'd be the idea. I mean, he's not next to
I
the
mean,
wall,
if
so
he
you can-
fails it, he's getting tossed back, right? So yeah, he
Yeah.
would fall.
Hopefully. I would hope so.
He doesn't really have anywhere to go.
He's on the roof.
Yeah.
He would fall and take more fall damage.
That's the idea.
See how it goes.
It's just- In theory, stellar. In practice, it could fail miserably.
Yeah.
What's the worst that happens? It doesn't work at all.
And waste the spell slot.
True.
Ah.
The
However,
sewer caves.
That is the problem.
if we kill it really good, kill
He's
it
a
really
full
fast,
caster,
I
it's
think
fine.
it's worth it.
Not good for now.
Why not? I'm gonna cast another Shatter centered at its feet.
That's all. 10, gotta reroll. That's 14. Fail.
Fails. Start rolling damage.
2 3d8.
Yep.
Okay. So as you aim up at the right corner where it's attempting to move its way to you, you see CAEDRIK once again cast this similar energy, but just not as potent. As it flies towards this being, it strikes right at its feet, and it blasts. And instantly this thing begins to tumble and just fall.
27 thunder damage.
Wow. It's really good rolling.
6, 7, and 8.
Whoa.
Wow, okay. 26?
7.
7.
Because it adds up to 21, then
Yeah, that's
plus
right.
is the +6 modifier.
Mm-hmm.
See, he's doing his job.
I'm doing
He
two
has-
jobs.
Okay.
He has spell magic.
As you
BS.
blast, he begins to
swing
tumble and
big
fall
things.
down. As he begins to fall, is that CAEDRIK's turn?
Action. You know what? It's a cantrip, so Sacred Flame.
Okay.
That'll be Dexterity.
I'll give him disadvantage on it. That was a 15 and 13, so success either way. It's 20 and 22.
Alrighty. It was a cantrip, so no.
As
He's
he begins to fall, it is its turn.
He's falling.
Uh-oh.
He falls.
His turn.
Dies by full damage.
Not another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Our
Another
third
one
one.
bites the dust.
It is now going to use astral gravity.
Okay.
Well, that's not cool.
Have fun, guys.
As you see these shadows begin to coalesce and turn, as everyone is in range, 80 by 80.
Wow.
Damn.
Where do I get this?
As soon as you walk in,
No, when do I get the spell, Jared? Not when I have it cast upon you.
okay. Within 80 by 80, every creature in the Maw-Claw affected is then lifted 30 feet into the air, and they are caught spinning in the air slowly. The creatures may then move at half speed in the air. Any full magic caster may move at 10 times their casting modifier in this gravity. Half casters at 5 times their casting modifier. Non-casters are at half speed. The Maw-Claw may then soar through its space with its full speed.
I'm sorry, run that by me again with the...
With the full caster bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Don't get too excited.
Okay.
We went from D&D to Ender's Game.
Okay. The creatures are lifted 30 feet into the air, and they are caught spinning in the air slowly. The creatures may then move at half speed in the air. Any full magical caster may move at 10 times casting modifier in this gravity. Half casters at 5 times casting modifier. Non-casters are at half speed. The Maw-Claw may then soar through this space with its full speed effortlessly. The area of effect does not move with the Maw-Claw, and I won't finish the rest of that, but that is the synopsis. So, everyone is now
Here, why do you not know the spell
30
yet?
feet into the air.
Yeah.
Everyone is now lifted 30 feet in the air, and as it falls, it begins to soar and catch itself. And as everyone is beginning to try and balance themselves out as it floats in the air, everyone in this gray and green mist just trying to correct themselves. It's like you're almost spinning in space for some of you. It's treading water that's super light and just tossing you around with every big movement you try to make. As for KELSION and COIL, as you're caught in it, at first it's very weird, but you begin to realize that you begin to move, and KELSION, as you feel like you're about to spin out, you feel something correct you, and you once again feel at ease. And as COIL begins to spin in circles, seeming a bit sick to the stomach, COIL, you feel 2 hands kind of grip you, and you're straightened as he goes, there now, keep in the air. I'll show you.
I'm gonna throw up after this, but okay.
Please don't.
No promises.
What's up?
Better dad showed up.
Better dad. Okay.
Cooler dad.
Cooler dad.
Invisidad.
There we go.
More hair
Maw-Claw
dad.
then soars. 5, 10, 15. We'll take a claw strike. 2 at KELSION.
Okay, let's see.
As he floats in air and catches himself, KELSION, and you feel yourself beginning to get just used to the propulsion of slowly moving yourself left and right, you look to see as it begins rocking itself towards you, claws out in this just attempt to just scissor you with one big swipe with both hands. That's not going to work. That's a 20 total.
But it hits a duplicate.
Okay. And then the second. I thought it wasn't going to hit you first time, but you only have 19, correct?
My AC
Yeah.
is 19.
Okay.
Yes, wait.
So the first one would have hit you, but duplicate, right?
Yep.
Second attack, natural 19.
Another duplicate.
So as it swings forward at you, you begin to propulse backwards, and two of your duplicates just slide in the way as they both get cut into pieces. They dissipate and explode in this small arcane area. Okay, from there, it's going to cry.
Well, I read that wrong, but outcome was the same.
What's up?
I'm supposed to roll the change of direction before your attack, but outcome would have been the same with the damage.
What do you mean?
I roll
Mirror image.
for mirror image.
Gotcha.
I roll before you attack, and then that determines whether it goes after duplicate instead.
Yeah, but
And
considering it
it's
would have been the
duplicate
same roll,
AC, but
it's fine.
its AC is under mine, so it definitely would have
Mhm.
died. So outcome's the same.
No problem.
It's okay, we'll forgive you. You're dealing with a lot right now.
You do see, Kelsion, that as it cuts at you, it looks pretty well beaten up, but as you look at it, you do notice that part of its wounds and flesh begin to slowly seal and recover.
So you probably need to hit it with radiant to keep it from doing that.
Okay, moving on. Care.
Okay.
You along with Lux, both of you run in. You all hear the footsteps and turn to see Care and Lux run, and you see all your compatriots, allies, acquaintances floating in the air. Some of them are spinning. SAAKA looks very angry. She's swinging at this bud that she's too high to swing at. DATH'TAN is himself trying to claw in the air in his wear-touched form. And as you look about to Kelsion, who's right now covering himself with mirror images, and COIL, who seems just to be like smiling while looking around, Lux and you kind of look to each other, and he goes, "What in the
This is
name?"
not good.
You first.
Okay, so is he in the center of the room, or is he closer to like the ceiling or the floor or a wall?
So this room is about 60 feet tall. Everyone seems to be in about a 30-foot radius of floating. And
Okay.
you are not floating. You are kind of staring, watching this. My eyes see the invisible line, so I will let you know when you begin to suddenly go super speed.
Does this wall go straight all the way up?
So, okay, once again, this is not a wall. This is just to show
Oh.
kind of like a small lip where it's.
So where does the wall start?
Walls are on these.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a whole
Yes.
platforms on either
Mhm.
side. Okay, I didn't
So the thing
process
is that this is not like a foot or so. This is
Okay.
almost like it was going to be the same thing as the tunnels behind, is there's a few feet and then a
Got
paved path. This just instead looks to be a few inches. This is like a sidewalk
Oh,
lip.
we got detailed work now?
Yeah, there you go.
Got it. Okay.
The artisan Nick is on it. He'll do all our art from here on out, right, Nick?
I do go with landscapes and anything that is not people.
Gotcha.
Big mood.
Do humanoids look like landscapes?
How far is he up?
He is now 30 feet up with Kelsion.
Okay,
Everyone
so
seems to be on the same playing
30,
field of
so-
fight.
I'm gonna step about here so to get within 60 feet ish. Because if it's 50, 30, maybe I can go one
And
more.
from
in.
there, you, before you yourself feel that your first foot, like you step confidently, and then you begin floating in the air, and your brain kind of like clicks.
Mhm.
I am now not touching the ground. You look behind you, and Lux is just watching you slowly float upwards. As you go, though, you feel that you have an understanding for this. This isn't, strangely enough, it is almost as if you and your ability have somehow tacked. And at this point, you now feel that you could perhaps maneuver your way. I will say it is your turn. Go ahead and just make an intelligence check, as that is your casting modifier. This will tell how well you can get in control of this.
16.
Yes, you can. So
Okay.
you have, technically, you've moved 10 feet?
Yes, 10, 15, 10.
Okay, so I will say that you have 45 feet of movement left.
Okay. I'm staying low, pretty much staying exactly where I am, and casting Mind Sliver as my bonus action.
Okay,
It's
so
an
as you
intelligence
begin
saving
to
throw.
float, you're just slowly rising to the 30-foot mark. You just point your hand at him.
Hard tricks and Mind Sliver.
You see Coil. As you're getting used to this, you turn and you see Care slowly floating, almost like on an invisible elevator up to you. He pulls a few of the cards, and 4 of them begin to float in front of him. And as he speaks the incantation, all 4 light. And as he pushes his hand forward, it's to most invisible, but you just see almost like this small wave through the wind, just this movement. And as it goes, intelligence save?
Intelligence save.
Okay. Natural 19 down to
Okay.
18.
Okay.
Still saves.
Unfortunate. That's fine. It's just a cantrip. And then as my...
You look and nothing happened. You don't know what he did.
And then with my main action, I am casting Phantasmal Force.
Sick.
Phantasmal Force. Okay, and that
Phantasmal
is a
Force.
wisdom.
That is an intelligence again.
Another intelligence.
That's
Natural 18 minus 1 down to 17.
Shit.
Sorry, friend.
Suck. That's my turn.
no.
Oh.
I don't think it takes... I don't think anything happens on a failure.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, that's my turn.
You see that Care kind of like frowns and he tries again this time. You see that this energy begins to swirl around him as the cards begin to just fly out of its holster and beginning to float around him. And as he casts this spell, still his target at this weird, strange, mutated creature, it just doesn't seem to pay any attention. Its full attention now on the being right in front of it as Kelsion has angered it through the ways of attention, attacking, and now not being able to hit it. It has frustrated this creature. He goes, "Think yourself tricky." Okay.
Kinda.
SAAKA,
Yes.
you are at half movement
Yay.
as you're just 30 feet in the air now.
I will not make it to the heart,
You would have to dash, but yes.
but then I can't do anything at that point, huh?
But you'd be there.
Yeah. Can I like go 15 feet and drop my sword and hope it will go?
You can throw your sword and hope.
Can I-
You should be out of the acid splashback. If you do that.
Can I get down to 15
It will just
feet?
slowly travel up.
Go down
No.
15 feet. Look at the heart and try to.
Throw it.
Yeah, because
Okay,
by
so
the time.
You see that, like, SAAKA's, like, really muscular puppy dog, like, puppy swimming dog,
Oh,
just
no.
all the way down. And she's just, in an anger, as her arms are just swinging at it, she's beginning to wildly make her way. You get about 15 feet closer, you're still 15 feet away, but you're just above it.
Yeah.
All right, wait, are you above it or still where you are at?
Directly above it?
Okay, so you're 10 feet down.
Yeah, directly above it. It's like it's.
Okay, so it's now a 20-foot chunk you're gonna have to make.
How? Just roll?
Make, I would say, this would be a strength check, so athletics, and you're raging, so with advantage. But DC is going to be pretty darn high because you're dealing with some strange, dense gravity right
Yeah, I remember.
It's hard to throw it directly straight
Yeah.
down.
now. No, but it's about the
Yeah.
force versus the
I
gravity.
can't see that.
15 and a 3. This is a 9.
Okay, 15 plus 3, 20. 25.
Okay. Throw down. For the sake of it, just roll and add your strength. This is kind of like the force. It will get there, but will it pierce or actually deal damage?
Okay.
This is kind of what it seems. So just roll and add strength. This will be an attack roll. Just it's literally the sword is attacking it.
Oh, okay. So with question before I already rolled up. Never mind.
Yes,
So
you
it's
did.
like with this, can I go reckless or
No. Once again, this is just the sword attacking.
18?
18. That hits.
Okay.
So without radiant.
Yes.
So just 2d6.
2 So, okay, so
Yeah.
without the extra d6?
You are technically not hitting it. You just chucked the sword at it.
Oh, okay, alright. That's fine. That's fair.
Do you have any
10
weapons?
plus...
I have a spear and a hand axe.
Okay.
Hit it again.
Okay.
Do you think it counts as a creature?
It's just the
Oh,
2d6.
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, the
I'm
flesh
trying to
flower.
remember.
Oh.
So 3...
Probably.
No, 17.
A game of
Okay.
Or,
technicalities, 'cause
sorry,
then
15.
Sacred Flame.
Okay, 15?
Yeah, because I don't add the...
Yeah, not the radiant.
It's just technically.
As you
Yeah.
throw the sword into it,
I think it's
technically living, so yes, it would be a creature.
it sails much quicker than what you expect, and you're like,
I
ugh.
don't know if I would call
You're kind of
it
surprised at
living.
yourself, and the sword sinks into it
It's
and almost
something.
uproots it and tilts it one way,
I
but
suppose
it
I would say
isn't
it is
quite
animated.
fully split
It's
open.
animated. We'll call it that. That we can.
It's sunken into the petal, but you don't think it's hit the center core. You think that you've just done a great amount of damage to that outer layer.
Okay. So, but
You
I'm...
were 2 hit points away from destroying the outside layer.
Okay, well...
Do your job.
Shut up.
You could come over and snap your neck, bro.
Yeah,
I got better movement.
that's true. Okay,
Caster.
shoot, now I don't have my sword and I'm only 20. Never mind. Alright. Wait, you said it was 20 feet away. Why am I 20 feet away?
Because you were shifting over to get right above it. You were not
30
right
feet
above
from
it.
the ground, 10 feet
Yeah.
tall, 20 feet
okay.
away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. Okay. Never mind. I'm done. There's nothing else I can
I
do.
did math for you, don't worry.
Okay.
Top of the round, DATH'TAN. Actually, my bad. Lux actually has his turn.
Well, I'm gonna start planning them.
As he steps there, he begins to float up. Let's see how well he is going to do here.
No one touched my sword.
That's pretty good. He begins to float over up to you, Care. Hello? Try not to mess this up, huh?
That's the plan.
Well, I don't know what you just did, but it looked really cool.
It was extremely effective, I assure you.
Just in case that another extremely effective thing happens. DATH'TAN, Lux, and Care are now blessed.
Okay. Wow.
I believe that we have... Yes, we do. His stance is too wide.
It's like a halo above his head.
Yeah.
Held up by horns.
Fucking radical. That's what that is.
There we go.
Lux is taking a nap. A blessed nap.
Oh no, he's dead.
Oh no.
Lux is on low profile mode, so maybe the thing won't see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lux
As he-
saw Datsun and died.
That happens again, he just falls
Yeah,
over, starts
PTSD
bleeding.
episode.
Yeah. Starts
The
bleeding
wound
from his
reopens,
wound.
it just dies.
Yeah.
Okay, Deathan, don't turn around.
As he lifts his hand and begins to speak the incantation, Care, you see that right by your chest there's this small red crystal that formulates and catches fire right next to Lux's in death, and suddenly right in front of you.
He blessed you.
It's-
Oh, he forgives you.
Aww.
Oh.
I don't think you should, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's to gain his trust so we can kill him later.
Lux is wanting to help, but you do see on his face he's a bit intimidated of the creature there, and he goes, I think this is more your forte. As he sheathes his falchion and just watches from afar. I'll do what I can to support. Okay, he moves forward, and that'll be the end of Lux's turn. Now Daphne.
Now it's my turn. Okay. 5, 10, 15.
As you come into his range,
Oh, it's reaction.
Good, you're using the reaction so I don't have to waste time. Is that control?
23 to hit.
Yeah, it hits.
$14 points of slashing damage.
Could you
Reduced to
not?
7.
I just patched him up.
Hey, I'm resistant now. Shut up.
Wisdom save. Top.
I didn't take damage the last round.
That's right. Okay.
Mhm.
No worries.
One-handing the broadsword. You good there?
No.
You almost lost a bag of snacks.
I know. It would have been sad.
Save the fish.
They would no longer smile back.
21 to hit.
21 hits, yes.
$11 damage.
11 damage.
Yep.
Okay. And is that two-handing?
No, that's one-handing.
Okay.
And then offhand, which would just be my claws. Jeez.
Kelsion, as you're like beginning to try and float backwards, you see DATH'TAN pushes past you, and as he does, he gets smacked and cut with these long finger-like blades of bone, and he turns back and takes a swing with the sword, striking into the figure. He staring at DATH'TAN that's approaching him.
That's my strength. 1 second. Which is...
Kelsion, you will be on deck.
A 7. Yeah. 7, so 15, 16, 17, 20, 21. 22 to hit.
Okay, with claws, that hits.
1 damage.
Okay.
Roll low on that.
There you go. You cut into him, but just injured and wounded. Although you are a bit more healed up, you're still roughed up and sore. You bring the claws forward, but just not with a ton of momentum, and you strike into the shoulder of this thing barely. Doesn't even seem to notice the second attack, as it was much more focused on the first. Okay. That is... Kelsion. Unless you were doing something else, DATH'TAN.
No, that's my turn. That was my action and a bonus action.
And movement. There you go, Kelsion.
Alrighty. There's not much I can do.
Suddenly a pen falls from the sky. No.
Not much I can do, so I'm
I'm
going
miss
to
something.
take
Hold on.
one attack with... Yeah, one attack with a spear.
Okay. You are not flanking with anyone.
No, I'm not.
But it is an attack roll, and he's fairy fired. So
Oh, very fight, that's right.
roll a second dice. What was the first one?
First one was a 14, which would have gotten me up to 18.
Fel might add 2 more damage to that.
So 18
I forgot
from
about
the
that.
Isn't it
advantage.
half your proficiency?
Yes, which is 2 halved to 1. So then it's 1. I made 2
Okay,
checks
gotcha.
instead. Sorry.
I'm not even in school.
So what's the attack?
Alrighty,
I'd be working for a
18 to hit.
That hits.
That becomes
preschool.
Really? Cool.
The Bethlehem Lutheran
10?
Church.
10 points of damage.
Yep.
Little kid.
Sure thing.
What kind of roll?
And
this is-
then following
Okay.
that up
Like
with
a, like, teacher's assistant?
Yeah.
Sacred Flame.
Super cool.
Dex save. Natural 20.
Of course.
Yeah, I can see you do that. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
can totally
Hey, man.
see that. Yeah.
I can hit him with
Uh,
everything except
If
for
you
that
can
one
trip.
spell.
Yeah, I know. You can check. It's not 20.
Yeah, just like,
I was rolling a bunch of 3s and 4s beginning of this fight, so.
Levi, you need to roll his dice again.
Alright, here.
Oh, boy.
Action, bonus action. Yeah, that's turn because you just stay right there. So yeah, all good. I believe it goes to Coil next.
Yes, that is the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Yes, that is Coil. And then Satyr
Alright.
is up.
You're like, let it be done. Let my turn be done.
Why don't you be like done with this turn and then start planning for the next one? Just kind of like, okay, what
Let's
happened?
see.
Where can I improve from?
Music at school.
I'm not. I'm playing D&D.
Trying to figure out if this thing would be immune to being paralyzed.
Only one way to find out, friend.
But I don't want to waste its second level spell slot.
That's the risk.
I don't believe it's gonna be immune.
Nothing so far has made us believe that.
Yeah.
Alright,
There's no indication of immunities.
I can use my action to cast Hold Person.
Okay. That's
Okay.
wisdom, right?
Wisdom.
Yep.
DC is 16.
It is immune to being paralyzed.
Okay.
Does it burn the spell slot?
Yes.
Either way.
You
Yeah.
casted the spell. As you stick your hand out and begin to say the phrase in this hope to keep it still, it just doesn't seem to... It's not even the fact that it didn't hear it. It just does not seem to affect this creature.
Good to know.
Yep.
And looking through it, I believe that command is a charm effect, and it is immune to that, so that would not have worked, but that was my own fault. So,
Let's go look at command.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull command up just real quick.
sure.
It does not say charm.
Yeah, nothing about it indicates charm.
Perfectly fine then.
Yeah, because you
Things would have happened the way it would have happened.
Sure.
So I'm making sure.
Good to know for the future at the very least.
Yep.
If that's the case,
Yeah, do you have a cantrip or something you want to use now?
I have 1 second level and 3 first levels.
You want to use a cantrip now?
Yeah. I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery.
This is mockery. Okay.
Is that wisdom again?
Yep.
Say, natural 20. For the cantrips, this guy is really saving against them. Not very useful.
At least it's staving off a bit of damage.
Yeah, it is. I won't not accept that. Okay. So,
That's my turn.
yeah, you're not moving?
Do you want to be that? Where? Oh, you're
He's
super
right
close.
But he's also giving advantage for death.
Got it.
Well, very far.
Yeah, you can step
Yeah.
back. The creature already used its reaction, theoretically. Up to you, if you want.
It could
I
have
already used my
another.
You
action,
could have another, but
so I can't disengage. I already used my action, so I can't disengage.
true. But
You could risk just flat movement.
Yep, because it used its reaction, so it may have multiple. But as far as we know, it's only up to you.
yeah.
Whatever.
Move here.
Okay.
If only Aneth was fighting with us, because then she'd have sneak attack.
Aneth is also really hurt, so maybe it's a thing she's not in this battlefield currently.
She was with you guys, but I'm going to allow that she has retreated at
Yeah.
this point.
Mhm.
Yeah. Smart. We don't want to kill her when she's not here.
In the back, sipping tea.
Yeah.
You're doing great, guys.
Cedric.
Yeah.
That's me.
Today it is.
Taking movement to get to the other side.
Oh yeah, because he has more movement now.
Yeah.
He's now fast dwarf.
Satyr might want this spell so you can actually move.
Yeah.
Double checking one thing.
Let's see. That's the wrong character.
Gotcha. So,
Alright.
Cedric takes another. So what it is as I was making Maw Claw, reading through the entire thing, because I knew it had a thing, but it was reactions. Deadly Reach. In response to a visible enemy moving into its reach, the Maw Claw makes one claw attack against that enemy. If the attack hits, the Maw Claw can make a second claw attack against the target.
Okay.
So, natural 20 against Cedric.
Oh boy.
You know, why don't you ruin his hopes and dreams?
Okay. 32 points of slashing damage.
Is that already counting with his feature?
Feature?
Yeah.
I believe it reduces bludgeoning, not slashing.
You take 3 less damage, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage while in heavy armor.
Okay, so he can minus 3 from that. So instead of 32, it's 29.
Yikes.
It was a crit,
That hurts.
but the creature should have been able to get a second attack on DATH'TAN twice. I won't make it twice. I'll hit you one more time. I'll try to hit you one more time. Natural 19. That is a hit. So, extra 8 and a 5. 8. 17. I'll say that you were raging that time. Well, not raging, but in your form.
Yeah.
Because you got slapped once, you should have gotten slapped
Just
again.
gotta save
So
your kid.
17.
Okay.
You are down to 8 points of damage on that hit.
Good thing he had that feat.
And Cedric's second attack.
Can I say no?
Nope.
See,
If the
you said
first
no.
if the first attack hits, he can roll again. That's only a 14.
14 plus 7?
No. 7 plus 7, 14.
God. Okay.
Unless you want me to hit Cedric again.
No.
No, I think
no,
Lane would
no.
be very upset with both of us, Jaron.
I don't know.
If
I
you're
mean,
upset with
Liam
all
told
of
me to
us.
hit you again, Lane.
And me, because I asked for a stat sheet.
I don't think
Yeah.
he'd believe you.
Alright.
Rightfully.
We all know the hatred that you had burning for Lane.
Burning, sure.
Yeah.
We'll call it hatred.
For betraying you with the cart painting. For the wagon being painted like a hot rod. You had him killed.
I've been plotting to kill Cedric all along.
Kira's been thinking how to get rid of him. Talking to Coil about killing him.
Alright.
I mean, hey, I was paid for it. If someone pays me more, I'll change it.
I'm poor now.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I need to keep
What is Cedric doing?
I need to keep that number up there. 'Cause That's an important
It's been a while
number.
since I looked at the mock boss stat sheet, so just
Alrighty.
refreshing myself.
So Cedric
Stop
will.
doing that.
Well, I made it like a month or so back, so
You should just
Right.
keep forgetting.
So once
about
he
things.
gets to
yeah, I'll
there,
keep. Don't worry.
using.
You guys are floating 30 feet in the air.
That's
Alright, he will
that's
cast
fine.
Inflict Wounds.
Okay, make an attack roll. Add advantage.
Yeah.
Like no matter what.
Yeah, I know.
You are in the way, it is.
That's,
Nice. It'll hit.
Yeah. 21?
Yes.
Alrighty.
It is necrotic, so it is halved.
6. Where did my pen go?
I wonder how he feels about poison.
Probably not too much of a fan of Radiant, which is why I've been trying to hit him with this entire time.
Do I look like a man who has radiant?
Care. The
Yeah.
cleric.
No joke.
Would not surprise me halfway through. Care is just wizard cleric. Because he needs to heal himself from being so weak.
He's like, crap, I should have picked Theurgy Wizard instead.
21 damage up
Reduced
to
to-
20. So 21 halved, be about 11, 6, 17 damage.
I think it's just half of all the damage is what we do normally.
Okay, 'cause I
So
just
it's
didn't know how
13.
you wanted to
Yeah, no,
factor
no
it in.
Okay. He's hurt. He's really hurt.
So after that, use up that last one.
There's another sacred flame heading his way.
That's not seeming to work, which is annoying. So
Do you have anything not dex based?
he has a hammer.
Whack.
That works.
He can go whack.
He can go whack.
Bonk.
Go for it.
Can he heal himself? Because he's hurt?
Unfortunately, no. That last spell I just cast was the first level. Unless he wants to spend 10 minutes.
Alright. Okay.
Alrighty. Go Gonna use his hammer to make an attack.
Sure thing. He can try. Oh no.
Oh.
Oh
Nick is heartbroken.
Add
Kelsion
that to
gives
my
up.
damage.
No.
That's my damn.
Bunch of d20s.
Actually, that was only 1d20. And it rolled
And
2.
d100.
I didn't do 100.
Yo, I got an actual B100.
What is it to hit?
17 to hit.
17 is the armor class. So just hits.
That was lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Put the metal dice up in there. That should stay now.
Add more weight.
I know. Fails the first time, add more weight.
That thing.
10.
10 points of damage?
Yep.
Okay.
6 plus 4.
As CAEDRIK flies up behind Dath and Kelsion, you see that he gets cut just from toe all the way up to near his head as he tries to block it with the shield. It carves through part of the shield and into his arm. He just barely seems to hold on, going in and out of consciousness with just such a blow of pain. He moves again as he blocks the second one away. He puts his hand out first, dropping the hammer just for a second as it floats in air. As he hits this thing in the chest, it shoots out this dark energy of thunderous necrotic energy, but just doesn't seem to do too much to it. He then grabs onto the hammer and slams it right into its very bony side, and you hear a small give and crunch. But it is looking hurt, but it is not quite at death's door.
I can't. No, never mind. Because I go right after.
Is that CAEDRIK's turn? Okay. He can take an attack of opportunity, but he will not. He's not attacked anyone leaving his range. He's only used his deadly reach reaction,
Okay.
which is just any creature. It is the Mocklaw's turn.
I figured since Coil got out of there, he would have his reaction, so I was like,
I'm
might
just
as
being
well.
kind. Okay, it does not get his blood spew back.
Good.
Kelsion,
What?
check for your last duplicate, please, because that is a most definite hit. That's 25.
Yeah, oh, that's gonna hit me, not my duplicate.
Okay. 13 points of damage.
Alrighty.
And go ahead and check again another time for your duplicate.
No, I don't want that one. That's a 13, so I'll go after the duplicate.
Okay.
And duplicate's AC is going to be...
10 plus dex.
Yep, so 15.
Yeah, that's a 19 to hit.
So last duplicate's down.
So as it swings towards you, this time the duplicate tries to get into the way, but this thing shifts over and cuts into your shoulder, part of your arm. You bring up your shield to lessen the blow as it scrapes across. As it swings again, this time your duplicate flies into the way and just gets backhanded into nothingness. So you
Slap them out of existence.
Okay. Care.
Um,
It's now your turn.
Slapped into the astral realm.
I am going to cast
As you're
Mind Sliver first as the bonus action.
As you're floating only a few feet from the entrance, the iron bar gated entryway
Mhm.
that allows you to get in. You aim at this creature once again, beginning to just see into this thing's mind or to damage it, to rattle it. You fire off another one. And intelligence save, natural 18, -1, down to 17.
Okay, that'll fail. That'll succeed. And then as my main action, going to Mind Spike and invoke the Tome. to give it 15 minus 1 to its saving throw.
So 14.
14.
Failure.
The illusion that it will see is from Kelsion's position will leap forth another illusionary Kelsion with a spear stabbing it, saying, you are too gullible, as he stabs it into the creature.
Suddenly, all of you see that this creature just begins to shoot back before acting like it just took a great blow right to its stomach as it...
That is 12 points of psychic damage.
12 points.
Sick.
That's awesome.
Okay. Nice.
And basically, for the rest of that Phantasmal Force's existence, is going to be stabbing it and mocking the creature as Kelsion.
All right. On its turn, I'm going to see what it's going to do about that.
You're gonna get murdered.
You're going to get murdered because it looks like you.
Okay. SAAKA,
That's what I'm saying. You're getting me murdered.
you were 20 feet away.
No, which sucks. So
You
I,
look
like,
really cool,
get
though.
as close as
And
I
then you don't
can.
even know.
Is it possible to pull my sword out? Can I reach it at all, even though I'm
You
like...
can move down 15 feet. You'd be 5 feet away from it.
I know, but my sword's so tall. It
You
doesn't stick
can,
out at all.
you can dash and get to it.
No, I don't want to do that.
Do you have any other throws?
You just see
I have
this.
a javelin.
You do see that as it struck, the portal is still open. And I would like you to make a perception check.
Great, something else is gonna come out of it.
It's not very good. It is 14.
14. As you begin to slowly move your way to it, there was a bellowing cry that you heard earlier. Right now, there was nothing in the past few seconds, but now another one seems to roar. It's at first what you thought was a roar. It is almost like a battle cry, like something is screaming for something to leave, or scaring something off, or even calling something like a war horn.
Shit. Crap.
You've heard a few of those in your time, and you realize that if not this thing not closed soon, something else is going to be coming out.
Alright. I do have a javelin. Can I throw?
Yes, you can. This will be the same thing. Just make an athletics check. See if you can. I'll say with your strength, not necessary. You are in total 5 feet away from this thing. So just make an attack roll.
Okay. Can I use reckless for that?
You're technically 10. Yeah, you can go reckless. You're 10 feet because you're just 5 feet above it. Then the 5 foot square is on.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoops. I'm still. In 19 plus 7? Or, yeah.
Yes, that will hit.
Yeah.
I'll say that hits, even with raised AC. Because you're insane.
Yeah, technically it'd be 19 plus 9. Okay. What am I doing?
Several things.
Wait. Sorry. Take that back.
Okay.
Because it's 1d6, not 2. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was.
It's not a great sword.
I know. I was.
You don't have a javelin full of
distracted.
great swords.
So it's 2d6. 15.
If you had a quiver of great swords, we'd have a big problem. How much damage?
15.
Okay. So as you throw this javelin in it, you hit one of the sides of like this pedal, and it slowly just flips open. You see the vein and clotted heart that's around as it's just this spider web of veins that cover over the heart once again, and it beats. But it still remains ingrained into the ground. You destroyed the outer cover, but as it's now this one petal just hanging open and it's beginning to fall open like this fleshy flower, it's now just sitting there.
I want a picture of that. I want like a picture of this flesh flower, and then
Teeth coming off the sides of each
I was
petal.
gonna say something.
can I get that into like a sticker and stick on my water bottle?
I have been watching a bit too much Avatar because I'm saying we need to get her a bladed boomerang.
Yes.
Okay, is that your turn, SAAKA?
Yes, it is. There's nothing else I can do.
And I'm like, oh.
Lux heals Satyr for 13 HP. Nick. Satyr heals 13.
Okay.
I'm not
Lux
that
reaches over,
stalker.
grabs onto his shoulder, and heals him.
No, but you throw a lot of things.
I know.
I'm like, some of them would come back, and some of them would hurt.
Definitely.
Don't worry,
It is
it's
your
me.
turn.
Yeah. Just gonna hit it again.
The hearts? Look at the hearts.
Doctor Strange refers Doctor Strange.
25 to hit.
25. That hits.
$14 damage.
14. How does he meet his fate?
Cuts in half at the waist.
Okay.
The words failed me right there.
As it's seeming like just in this out of breath stance, as if it's gotten punched in the gut and it's
So
healed
as it's
over.
reeling back, I go from the other side and I.
Okay. You scooch over to the back side of it, and as it's curled over, you just see this perfect cut line where you see the chains and the padlocks that was keeping this bottom cloth attached to it. You swing down, putting the second hand to push as hard as you can and making this one forceful blow. As you strike in, you keep cutting from one side of the hip all the way to about the midsection where it catches. And as it catches, you're instantly covered and just splattered all over with blood. The gravity instantly drops.
Oh,
Aww.
fun.
Yay.
Everyone needs to make a dexterity save.
I'm still on the ground pretty much, but I can go up.
2 rounds of floating, you'd be about at the 30-foot mark.
It pushes me upwards.
Yes, that's what I was saying, is you are
Okay.
slowly like an elevator lifting.
Oh, okay.
So deck save.
Dex save.
Okay.
Lux fails.
What? He was one of the people I was counting on.
I know, right?
He rolled just really low. He has decent dex, but...
Don't forget the people who are blessed.
Oh.
Am I blessed?
No,
You're
you're not.
blessing.
I'm
Does
not.
that
Oh, wait, I
count?
also have my part.
Unfortunately, that doesn't give you a d4 on the roll.
Doesn't give you a D4. People who have bardic inspiration though. People
Yeah,
won't
yeah,
know
yeah,
that.
that was only me though.
That was me too.
Yeah,
Both
Saaka
the
and
dice
Dath'tan.
got 18.
Okay, so that's success. Half damage.
21.
Success, half damage.
18. Success.
Even more so half damage because I
So quarter damage.
so quarter
Quarter.
damage.
Sure. Same with Saaka.
What?
You're going to take quarter, because... Wait, what was your save?
19.
Yeah, that's a save.
I made 20.
Success? Care?
13.
Because we
fail.
use this into collection.
Oh yeah.
Lowest to the ground.
KO dies because of fall damage.
What is it? It's a D6 per 10 feet.
Yes.
10 to 36.
10d6.
Oh shit.
Care is a pancake.
I am not only a pancake, I have reached the other side of the planet.
It's like a split second you're in the veil. You're like, what happened? That is... I got damage, don't worry.
You got it? Okay, good.
No, I'll keep yours. What is yours? You just rolled for everyone.
No. If I rolled 3d6, I would have just instantly gone unconscious. It's only a 14, which still is
Okay,
more than
this
half my
is-
health.
That's 14 points of damage.
Yeah.
That's what I just rolled.
I went down to 2. I would have gone down to 2 HP.
So, everyone takes half damage except for Care and Lux, who take fall.
I'm at 6 hit points.
I'm at 9.
Care, you go from the cards floating around you to suddenly the cards
Floaty half
fall.
7.
As you look down, there's a bit of a Wile E. Coyote moment where you like look down and then the overcoat like flailing past you as you hit the ground, and you feel pop in your arm, part of your leg. As your foot first hits the ground, you feel pop. Then your back as you land, and your elbow.
It's half of 7.
4.
3.
4.
Do you think
3,
there was
4.
anybody on the street
It's
above
rounded
that
down.
got
Yeah,
caught
so
in the
3.
spell?
It's down,
What's up?
down,
So
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 was
you-
anybody
3 points of
street
damage. You're fine.
above that got caught in the spell?
I don't know if it goes through walls. I have no idea.
I have no clue.
That'd be real funny.
There's people above us.
So, there is still a beating heart and and a portal open in the middle of this room. You look and you see the dark green and gray and black outline, followed by almost this just projection of starlight light and this almost Milky Way type of colors of this magenta, pink, white that is flowing within the portal itself.
Question. Since I was directly above the heart and I fall, do I fall directly on the heart and does it take damage from that?
I need you to make another dex save for me. Just for my knowledge.
A dex
Because
save?
you were right above it.
She falls
Dex
into the
save,
portal.
please. Just
Yes.
a dex save.
19 plus 20. Oh wait, hold on.
Actually,
I
you know what?
I can do more.
It's not the same thing.
23.
It's not about taking damage. Don't worry.
Yeah.
23.
I'm gonna roll a d20. Because above the heart is the portal.
Oh.
I'm invoking the throne.
Which is
It's a 18.
okay, what I was going to say is 1 through 10 is what she lands on the ground.
Okay.
At 11 through 20, she falls in the portal.
Okay, can you not?
I will not then.
Can you take back an invocation?
Well, I actually have to see a thing, a person making a roll. I don't see the DM, theoretically. I see her. So if she's making the roll, I can do it.
You didn't make a roll.
Oh no, that's...
And then suddenly Jaron appears just so I can fuck everyone over.
Do I get to play Rule
Go
Slayer?
ahead and look up what if
Go for
a
it.
divination wizard can take back an invocation.
It will also specify that I have to see the person who's making the roll.
Liam's like,
The wording
I
will
see the DM.
turns around.
Liam can see the DM.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
That's clear.
I'm at the very end, buddy. At the end of classes.
I know, I'm flipping through multiple classes
Yeah.
at a time.
Got it.
He's making this painstakingly slow. First I get flushed down a toilet. Now I get flushed down a world.
What's with you?
I just rolled the dice, so either way we will have the answer.
What did I roll? I rolled a 23.
Well, that was not for damage. That's why I just ended up rolling myself. Is because I think you were rolling danger sense, like in the sense
Are you in
of
the right
damage, like.
space? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you are looking at portent. So it is. You can replace a creature that you can see. You can replace a attack roll saving throw.
So it's not necessarily.
So can you even change the DM's roll?
no, I can't
No,
change the DM's
really.
roll
Yeah.
unless it is being for a creature that I can see.
Yeah. Because you can replace an attack roll saving
Okay,
throw
so
or
this is
ability
more of just
check.
the will of the universe. It was
Yeah,
what
'cause
I
this was not-
Do
rolling.
I get to see the universe? Does that count as a creature?
To be fair, this
As a
it's
divination
not an
wizard, and
ability
specifically.
check, so you can change it.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
Because
any...
it's only for attack roll saving throw or ability check.
Okay. Oh, I didn't even think about that aspect
Fate of the
it.
universe.
Fate of the universe is not an
covered
ability
in-
check.
Is not covered in
It's
your
an ability
skill
check
rating.
of the fate of the universe.
Fair enough.
So I rolled an 11.
Bye guys. See
Bye.
you later.
As you all fall to the ground, Cleric, you're. As Lux is slowly picking you back up, like, yep, that hurt me too. As he stands back up and you look at each other, all of you beginning to dust yourself off, you just hear. And SAAKA is nowhere in the room with you.
That's you didn't throw another like water bottle in there, did you?
No, I'm not.
SAAKA,
No.
you.
I don't think I did.
And you are floating in this dark abyss.
Again?
You have never traveled across a plane. It's cold.
Do I have
Feels
my
like you just
sword,
got
please?
pushed through a window.
Did I grab it on my way down?
I'll say that's what the dex check is for.
Okay.
You-
Please say help.
So I'll say that's what some of you see, is you just see her arm and the sword being sucked in.
That's a
It
different
feels
version
like
of
you are being
Excalibur.
pushed through a door and you are falling. As you go, you begin to just slowly tumble before your back hits something hard. And that's where we're going to take a break.
You know, you don't need to visit a new dimension every session.
No.
I just have the worst luck, and I succeeded my dex save too, guys. Not like I failed my strength save
Alright.
again.
And we're back. So, as Menagerie, you all stand in this darkened place, the small twig. How long does that light last?
Let me double check the spell.
Sure thing. As it may or may not still be casting light within this large cube room, you still see the green-black outline of the
For an
portal.
hour.
Okay, so yes, it is still casting light. As this almost space-like light of stars and this magenta and red, bright pinks and whites begins to fill into the room itself. You all stand there as your compatriot has disappeared into it. You all stand there, the heart still sitting there beating.
We need to pull it out before we close that.
Do we have any rope?
Lux, do you still have the black coil by chance?
On me? No. I don't just carry that around.
Worth a shot. Anybody else have rope?
Digging through my backpack looking for shit.
As you
transform back.
all do that, SAAKA, out of breath, is sitting in front of the portal.
Close the portal, close the portal, close the portal.
I immediately start trying to poison the heart.
It fails any constitution save you might have for it. So roll some
Okay.
damage.
Can
It's
I,
a heart.
Can I stab immediately after I come out?
Okay.
So every turn
between-
I have, I can do 2d12.
Between
Plus
Hair
60.
attacking it and SAAKA immediately stabbing, the portal goes out. It will not have enough health to withstand two of you.
28
Yes,
poison.
no, it's gone.
Yeah.
It begins to shrivel, and as it does, the portal begins to flicker. SAAKA stabs the already shriveling heart, and it drops.
It's still stabbing the ground even after I know it's gone.
SAAKA, in this panic and anger, is stabbing into it.
I sit back. That's all. Actually, I know. I go to COIL. Are you okay?
That was fun. I span a lot.
I could see that.
I'm gonna go throw up now. And he goes off to go do that in some nearby bushes.
In the nearby bushes in the sewers.
Oh no, man.
He goes to the small corner and begins throwing up.
Aw.
Just
Yeah,
feel
you
like I'm
stand
just-
in this stunted T. There's like this small sidewalk-like lip. This T that you stand in, this pathway, is a few inches down. You feel like this was perhaps another sewage way that was being made, and they began to lower it, but then stopped construction for some reason. And now the other way that should be the pathways and the sewage back, like the places that you'd walk on the sides, are just now a few inches instead of a few feet built up now. You look up and you see the semicircle cuts within the three walls, excluding the one behind you. Each one barred, seeming to be some sort of way for water to flow in or out. But you're now just standing in a very empty room.
Did you kill it?
Pick up its torso.
It is still connected to the bottom half of it. And as you
Stomp
lift
down
your
to
arm-
rip off the legs.
Are you still a wolf?
No, I
Okay.
turned back.
As you kick down into it, you only cut about halfway, so you just
I just tear off.
feel a tear.
Nyeh.
It takes a little bit, but you... Through disgusting cracking noises and splurting of more blood, DATH'TAN eventually tears this thing apart.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Yeah.
I'm watching
I
this
would
very
say
intently because last time, if I recall correctly, the eldritch creature disappeared into like a black goop.
Mhm.
Is this one retaining its solidity?
Go ahead and make just a perception check.
As opposed
Not
to its,
yeah, sure.
as opposed to its
Sure,
liquidity.
investigation. We can make it that.
Investigation would be a 22.
You are already beginning to see the bottom half of it slowly fade and crumple.
I'm gonna take one of my vials and try and like tentatively get some of the goop inside of it. And
It is
cork
just this dark black and green goop, this small little bit of light that seems to be within it that you
Is it like
scrape into it.
being liquid in my hands as I'm holding up the torso? Or
You're
is it
seeing
not
that
really?
like from the bottom half it is, and as you look from the bottom of the torso going up, it is just beginning to like slaw off and
So
fall
I
into-
feel like it's getting like a bit lighter.
Yes, you feel like pieces of it fall, and you just feel like the small stunting of it. Look over, see that it's beginning to do that in your hand.
I would
drop it. Yeah, yeah. Yes, it is dead.
And I'm assuming you're not trying to grab this with your bare hands.
Obviously not. Just some like leather gloves or whatever.
Sure.
So my thing is with this is that we keep killing whatever is coming out of this portal, but there's still a person behind it. One we stopped last time, and now one we stopped this time. What do we do now?
It's a matter of...
You do look over and you see the cut apart humanoid that now lies in two pieces from this creature on the ground just a few feet away.
Is this the one with the knowledge who made this portal?
I'm not quite sure.
I'm gonna investigate this body to see if there's any identifying marks or items on this person.
Turning over the torso as the legs are face up, but the body is just pretty much spun in half. You do see to look, this is a smaller statured figure, and as you flip it over, it's a human man.
Okay.
Heavily weathered and creased face, scraggly, dirty gray and white beard that drops down to the center of his chest that is now cut and torn apart. His left eye is missing, but it seems to be a very old injury. It's just an empty socket that looks into his head. The other eye is pale blue, but now faded, and the light of life is gone from him. Looking strained, or at the very least sleep deprived. His dirty brown cape and cloak is more mud than material and cut to tatters. He just seems to be wearing dark pants and torn shoes. He seems to be wearing just torn, leathery, and tough gloves, and he seems himself to have very calloused fingers and hands.
Alright, any items on this person?
Make an investigation check.
Does anyone want to assist me with this?
On an investigation.
Yeah, if you want to do the help action, then I'll do it.
Sure. I will give you the help.
20.
He seems to have part of a sewing kit, as well as just... It looks to be a small scroll rolled up with him.
Is this the nice vellum of a magical scroll, or is this, or should I no, I'll just open it. I'm not going to be...
You see that Kara picks up this small, just rolled piece of parchment, and you see that he thinks to himself for a second before just shrugging and unrolling it.
Glyph of warding.
Yeah.
TPK, no.
Tactical nuke.
This does appear to be that of a scroll spell.
Mhm.
Reading through it, it appears to be a... Excuse me. Looking through my notes.
Mhm.
Loading. It is a spell scroll of haste.
I mean, the sewing kit could be as there was flesh being sewn together.
Yeah, inspecting what remains of the heart is what's thread in the sewing kit, similar thread as to what's on the heart.
The heart itself, no. But
Okay.
as you do look at the petals of this meat flower,
Okay.
there are pieces of it that looked to have been stitched together in the first place. It's not like one clean petal of skin. It's like several different skin tones and colors that have been sewn and patched together to make this one petal of a flower. And several of them as it has curled itself around, but now just lies flat and open.
What purpose does this person have to open Well, never mind.
No, voice your question.
Whatever was in that portal, it was very dangerous. There were creatures that I have no idea about. It was large. They were easily 4 times my height. And they were wanting them to come through the portal, but for what reason? To destroy the city? To wreak havoc? There has to open something that could destroy so much. There has to be a particular reason.
To remind you of what you saw, you seem to be on lilac paved stone roads. That, or it was almost like a sifting dark sand, a deep purple. Some places seem to be much more imperial. You've been to the Empire before, and it's not quite, but it's of the same make. Very well made, smooth, solid stone. But other pieces and chunks of this broken city that you had seen were different. It's like seeing 2 different places torn apart and placed together. Some of them had large white trees smashed together, almost like fused to create the outer walls. The building somewhat looked like anywhere from rounded bunkers or slat windows to much more of a much greater make and of better design. Once again, reminding you of your time spent through Cathand and the Reignited Empire lands, but not quite. Something a bit different to each one of their features. No fancy filigree. It's very cold. It was a place that you've never seen before, but the beast that greeted you just outside the door was quick in getting you back through the portal.
Do we just leave it be?
Are you referring to the plane that's on the other side of the portal?
What do you mean?
This heart and the portal it opened leads somewhere. As to how big or what exactly that there is unknown to us. It is probably not by coincidence that we've seen 2 of these things.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
It could be a cult, it could be who knows what, but what I do know is that it is not our concern unless it is in our way. Personally.
It's just, there can't be a coincidence that we so happened to stumble upon it the first time, and just happened to stumble upon it this time.
The question is, what do the gnolls and this, as I kick the corpse of the person, man here have in common?
I don't know, they're both dead.
This is true.
Well, I guess we just leave it be then, huh?
Until further answers show themselves, I don't think we have all the things we need to do anything about it.
Alright.
If it is as widespread as this coincidence makes it seem, I'm certain we will see it again.
You sound almost excited about that prospect.
I have never seen anything like this before. I can't say I'm not interested as to why fate has led us to 2 of these things.
Well, At least we know we can beat it for now. We know kind of what we're doing.
So what did you see on the other side?
It was just this big.
Thank you, music.
It was just this big empty space, but I was on this white lilac road, and this creature was the closest to me that I tripped and stumbled back to the portal. It was a huge ogre-like being. It was easily 20 feet, bluish. But I feel like the goal was to get that creature out of the portal into us. If we hadn't closed it, it was coming.
Does bluish ogre creature ring any bells as to a creature planar or extraplanar?
You've never heard of anything like that? I will
Okay.
say, as a detail missed, is that it did not have a physical head, but that of almost a swirling cyclone.
Am I aware of a Doulahan or something of that sort?
This sounds,
very
yeah.
unpleasant.
Well, there was not just that creature, there was many creatures past it. Some of, I don't even know what, but there were many of them. I don't know what would happen if we would have left that portal open.
Next time we go through, I should see if it is on the same plane of existence.
I highly doubt it.
I doubt it as well, but it could be somewhere on this plane. But if not, then it's good to know at least that affects some magics in interesting ways.
But how are they? I mean, we destroyed the first whatever this is, and we destroyed this. How do they continue to making it? Is it by magic? Or
There could be a mystery man controlling both groups, putting them under a spell's control, forcing them to build whatever this ritual is, and then disappearing before we get here. That way he can continue on and havoc follows in his wake.
it just seems like very chaotic.
You expect this type of ritual to be pleasant?
It could be that he's, for whatever purpose, doing this by numbers. These could be 2 of dozens or hundreds he's trying to open.
What, to take over the world?
Beats me.
Classical bad guy.
Alright, well. You're still. Evidently, you grabbed something before we left.
This was on the job board. Yeah, we can go get a reward from doing this.
Oh, that's what you were doing.
That's what you
That's
really
what
took
you-
me away from.
That's what you were doing.
Do we at least have some of the Countess's parts to
We
show for it?
Left the bodies up top. And isn't
There's,
there one here?
there is one in here.
There's also that one.
Let's hope that no predators have gotten to the ones up top.
I think the smell was a bit too strong, so I don't think so.
Let's hope. Do you want to carry the head?
I would love to carry the head. I've had a very rough day.
I thought so.
I'm gonna go. Actually, no. I'm just gonna I don't even have any actual things to do this with.
Do we have a separate head bag so we're just not open carrying the head? 'Cause
What's wrong with that?
With these,
I don't know where you're from, but that's generally frowned upon.
Yeah.
Lux kind of steps forward. If I may, you've dealt with this before.
In the town of Kruldur.
This was in Krolder.
Yes. In the mines adjacent. Knowles had set up something quite like this.
Sure.
And out of it came one of these. And I, minor illusion item thing once a day, I show him the Eldritch Crow that we had fought in the mines. Vulture thing.
See his eyes trace over the form. Interesting. You are indeed wrapped up in something, aren't you?
Unfortunately so. When I attempted to identify the hearts, because we brought it to Hasela to show her as proof of our deeds, it spoke many voices saying, "Get out." This is dark.
It's different as well. This isn't... I know I'm out of my old business, but this is not in the act of necromancy.
Is this even an act of magic as we know it? Is the question.
Not any I have seen. Care, how many strings do you have within this big world?
A few. It's a bit far away to pull them, but I can if necessary.
And how high up the chain do they go?
They vary. What's your destination you want me to pull towards?
I was thinking that I could be of some use. I have one contact with... Well, it's... a few contacts I could get in touch with, but... one specifically within the Enlightened Council, within the Reignited Empire. It's a member of the Arcane Alternative.
That's quite the high thread. Do you suspect they know about this?
She's an expertise of that time when the Arcane Alternative was a thing. A lot of new magics were spawned then. Maybe I could get a thread going from there. It will take some time, but if you're patient enough, I can perhaps follow that lead.
I think that would be quite wise. I worry about there being more of these, and what the...
Well, if this is the second one you run into,
Yes.
I've never heard of anything like this. Anywhere, really. I'm sure this won't be the end.
Looking to CAEDRIK.
How far do these sewers span?
Well, Northwest Corner stopped its construction due to work over in what we now know as the Thistlewood. They thought that they were going to find Maricore, so they started mining for it. Didn't want sewage to start filling up the tunnels they were making, so what you stand in is just unfinished sewer, but it spans through almost the whole city, through the filtration system, and then out back into the port.
So what you're saying is that if there's much more space to hide more of these hearts.
They'd have to do it through feet upon feet of sewage water.
Oh. So they are much more used than this one.
This was blocked off. There was no filtration system, no way to get it to the port. It was never finished, so we just blocked it off. That's why I was able to walk this area more often than not.
SAAKA, when you are done with that Keltis, maybe we should bring some of the heart and flower back to our contact above.
Are we able to just kind of pick it up and...
The Keltis?
We did it to.
No, the heart.
We did it with the Hellas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Hassan, I think, was a bit more lenient than these guys would be.
Yeah.
I feel like this guy would know. Would want to know, rather.
It's a bit of a shriveled heart, so you try not to grab onto it and fear that you may tear it. So you're kind of like trying to get your arms under it, pull up any of like the bloody, veiny roots that remain. Now you're just holding it. It's large, like folding over your shoulder and falling from your arms. It smells disgusting.
Close.
It's like pooling with blood already by the time you close.
Another sack. Close. I have like 5 sacks.
It looks like you're carrying a body, but
This sucks.
So, okay, so I guess we go up and grab the head and
We
then
go
head
up
back
and
to-
grab the others, and then head back.
Sounds good to me.
Does the
We
job
need
poster say what sort of proof that they want?
Did it show? I needed to show proof for the beasts. Did it state any, like, how I need to show?
it was just proof.
It was just proof.
I always do love grabbing the heads and putting it on their desks and seeing their faces.
I think tails would be lighter, but
Let's
you're
take.
the one
We
carrying
already
them.
have the one head from this one. Let's go get the tails from the other.
Okay.
That sounds reasonable.
Don't you just love their faces when you just plop it right down and all
Yeah,
their
but
things?
then it's not.
Not really.
It's not very professional.
Yeah, it's not professional, and carrying
What about
all of those
this
heads
is
into the
professional?
town would be kind of weird.
Do they know what they're asking us to do, right? How is this not professional?
They have to go dispose of them afterwards.
That's their problem at that point. I just want the money.
Exactly. They prefer to have less of a problem to take care of after they've paid us.
It's not really our problem, is it?
Could we please
Yes.
not keep
Yes.
standing
We
in the
can
sewers?
we can get going on.
It's not very good for my clothing.
I would
I
like to.
walk
Let's
past
go.
him. I just
Yes, that's you, and this is me. Do you see the difference?
Wow.
just glare and walk past him.
He chuckles.
No, I'm not gonna.
Let us be
I was gonna
away.
shoulder check him to get some more
He
blood.
blessed you.
I know. I'm
He
not going
forgives
to.
you.
I know. I'm not going to. I'm just gonna walk past him.
See that as Daphne walks past, he looks to all you. It is good to see you all again.
It is good to see you as well, Lux. Unfortunately, not excellent circumstances, but
I feel like I will be hearing of your circumstances to be much like this in the future. You know how to get yourself knee deep.
fate loves to fuck us over.
It tries.
And you just gave me a bath, too. Oh, darn.
Coil, let's be out of here.
Okay.
You, feeling better?
Yeah.
Good, I pat you on the head.
Small throw up pile in the far bottom right corner.
It's all the rat bone.
So,
It's a
you ate the
hairball.
bones too?
It's a hairball.
Oh, it's a hairball. Alright,
Well, if you go too fast, you might miss a bone.
let's not be here anymore.
Yeah.
Alright.
You all begin to navigate your way back to that hole, fall into it one at a time, traveling your way back up to the surface. Keltisks have been left alone, taking some time. Are you taking tails, heads,
Tails.
ears? Tails.
Ooh.
You're taking the rat-like whipped tails with the top layer of just strip of fur that's on each and every one of them, collecting them all up. You then begin to push on. You head back to the tree line within this gray, almost off-white thick of wood that you travel through. The black speckled leaves on the ground and in the bushes themselves that you walk through that are waist high, COIL having to be kind of lifted, not to be completely just getting slapped in the face by all the bushes. You reach the line of thorn bushes and just dead wood. It once again being beaten down as one by one you're all walked through back into the much more healthier fields and not the dead grayish blue grass. You begin to walk your way all the way back to Neuron Highway. Just to your left is the entrance into Repton.
How are we gonna explain this to the guards that'll let us in?
He has the poster for the.
I turned it in. Or did I keep it?
You took it with you, didn't you?
I believe you took it with you.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, you just
Then,
read
yeah.
it and said we're taking this one, and you took it with you.
Alright.
He has the
Yeah.
poster.
This'll be fun to deal with.
Oh, Lord, yes. Yes, it will.
The
What is that?
gentleman in the bygone guard that we had spoken with before. I don't have his name written down.
Are you talking about the captain?
The captain, yes.
Jackus or Jackis.
Captain Jackis.
Yes, Jackis.
13.
And looking at the poster, who was the client for this?
The client is the Bygone Guard.
The
It is
Bygone
the
Guard
guardhouse
client.
that was reported to.
Got it.
In that case, that should be just satisfactory then to get us through.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
All right, heading back to town, or I guess, or we're
Yeah.
already in
You
town.
approach the guards who are right by the western door, looking at you. They're watching as you're approaching with several tails. Some of you still scarred, still like carrying
Still
fresh
like
wounds.
bleeding a little bit.
I look great.
Say.
No,
I'll remember to fix that later.
I only took like. I'm still almost at full health.
Yeah, I'm not.
I was in the room for like 12 seconds, and I'm almost dead.
Given I was fighting a heart that couldn't fight back.
Okay,
so,
fair enough.
Yeah.
True.
They're all looking
I
over each
take
and
out
every one
the-
of you. You cannot see their eyes, but you can
Yeah.
sense the
I can feel
Questioning
The
and the
confusion and
the strange, like, what the heck are we looking at? As all you're kind of out of breath, scuffed up, bleeding,
Take this.
covered in blood, each and every one of
Completely.
you. Yeah, we'll report to the guardhouse.
Yeah, can we get in?
Open up!
Thank you.
It's like, yeah, go. Wait, we can't.
As the door slowly is pulled open from the men behind the door, you all, one by one, walk your way back into Repton.
Kind of curious on what their whole perspective was like, because they saw us run out at full speed, booking it, and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
come back with.
Come back looking like we got hit by multiple trucks.
What do you mean trucks? In a
Carts.
wagon?
Yeah, so
You go just a
wagons,
bit
horses,
above
you know.
the flood wall to the center of town. You see the same smaller cathedral, dense cobblestone building. You walk on the paved path and turn within this grassy yard to walk up the steps. You look up at this top tower belfry where it's cut off, and you just see this small lip of stone where the guard with the rifle is still looking over, looks down, waves. You come to the thick door, same filigree of the interconnecting bones that are stacked on top of each other. And you're at the guardhouse.
Knock,
Is there
knock,
someone?
knock.
There's someone outside the guardhouse door, right?
He's up top.
Yeah, he's up top.
Pound, pound.
We're here to turn in a.
You're speaking to no one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the no one. Okay.
No one.
He's about 40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he's.
So as described before, where the belfry is, there is no actual bell tower. It's
Got
cut
it.
off, and it's this small lip of stone, and there's just a guard with a rifle that is standing up,
Got
watching the street below.
Okay.
Just come up and pound the door as hard
I
as
bet
I can.
he's confused because he saw all of us run off
Yeah.
and now coming back again.
Door
I wonder
opens.
how often he gets dehydrated. No, probably very much.
The same female guard opens the door. Hello?
Push the head to her chest. Here.
The Celtic head. She
Yeah.
slaps it out of her hand, and it just lands on the ground in the doorway.
Here.
She just looks up to the rest of you.
I like
We accepted this, not to
gingerly pick up the
too long
hand
ago.
and put it.
Don't hand it to me.
Yes.
That is proof enough.
Please.
We also brought the tails.
Grudgingly takes the head back.
I'll take them.
That
Takes them.
that she'll
She-
take.
Well, yes, because the head
I
is disgusting.
told you why. I will not explain myself.
The
You see
head
that
is
she
from a
seems to be
different
like
one.
gesturing and
Its
trying to
tail
hand it
is-
off to
I
someone
find
else.
no other Koreans to explain this to me.
You just hear like, man, let's take care of this. You see that she looks back. She steps out fully and she stands in front of the door, in front of all of you. So, was it difficult?
The Countesses, no, not really. We have other problems to report, however.
What you're dead.
There was something else inside the.
She
sewers.
looks over your shoulder to the sack that you're hauling.
That is part of it.
Have you come to report
A
killing?
Yes, actually. There was a corpse inside these sewers, amongst other things that I can explain in more detail.
Well, sure that it will prove no benefit to be out here. Come on in. She pulls open the door. You once again are led inside, and you see the clean wooden floorboards, the walls that have both maps and the banners of the Bygone Guard that's hung over some of these windows. The right wall hand corner, far you see the staircase leading down, and in the left you see a staircase leading up. You see the center table that once again blanket is being pulled over it of the map of Tortarum. Behind it, the same long lunch table set up with the benches and the small square stone fire pit with a spit and what seems to be a large bowl that you see some guards have already sat and are eating what seems to be roughly supper, as it is later day at this point. As you sit there, she turns and goes, I'm assuming you're wanting to speak to Jaquise?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll go see if he's busy.
Once she gets up, I'm gonna go sneak over and put the head on the lunch table. Walk back.
SAAKA. No.
As
please.
you walk
SAAKA.
around the table, you walk up to some of the guards that are like slowly looking at you as you come up, and they're looking to one another. It seems to be just what looks to be like pea soup with a chicken leg for each and every one of them. They're eating, and as you walk up, you plop down this just wide, almost viper-like head of a dog just right onto it, and as it sits open with large fangs and this forked tongue rolling out of it, they all just uncomfortably scoot over.
I'm walking up, like, behind SAAKA. I'm sorry, she is unsure where to deposit this.
Are you gonna eat
I take it and walk away.
Get it away. Get it away.
I pull out another
See
sack,
them
stuff
have
like
like
the sack.
pushed away their food bowls. The smell is just rotten and acidic.
I pointed the soup. I'm like, you gonna eat that?
Nope. Nope.
Appetite
Nope.
gone.
Take We take the soup. And they start eating
Joining
it.
another table of the soldiers, they all just like look at you and begin to slide on their benches or stand up and walk away. Some stand up and walk up the stone staircase, what you assume is to their rooms,
You
to
guys
go
want
finish
me
their
soup?
meals. Some of these, you see that finally, like, these unmasked guards are just like anywhere from younger to much more middle-aged or past
They
men
will
and
not
women.
let you inside the building if you keep doing this.
You want some soup?
After I get all my bones back into place, maybe, and return this in.
Why?
There's probably like 2 or 3 soup bowls that have now been left alone.
I shout, does anybody want any soup?
Coil, do you want soup?
I'm good.
I'm gonna eat some. Why do you have to? You could have just. She doesn't want the head, obviously.
So neither do any of the other guards.
You know, that's a once in a lifetime kind of thing that you're gonna be able to see. If I was guard, I would want to have seen that
To
head.
find something
The
that
smell
smelled
is
worse.
still burning in my nose.
To find something that smelled worse than you did.
I take the chicken leg and I throw it at you.
I use Mage Hand to catch it. Thank you. And then he just starts eating it right in front of her.
Make a dex check real quick, just
Just
for
for
the sake of flavor.
sure thing.
Actually, I'll make it charisma because it's like the ability of your casting.
So spellcasting ability modifier.
Yeah.
All right.
It's +5, I believe. +6.
+6.
No,
If it's plus proficiency, it's
it's just
plus
+6.
8.
So Nate, what is the dice, and then
Yeah.
what is that plus 6?
24.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Nate.
24. Yeah, easily enough. Saki, you kind of chuck it. Yeah, that was like $1,000 to prep, guys. I hope that was worth it.
Yeah.
Just had someone release a bunch of ducks.
Yep.
No. As Sokka,
Something
from
swarm of ducks.
this-
raid the,
it's kind of like the meld of the mess hall and what looks to be not even a war room, just the map and the table. You chuck it over the table. A few of the guards that are standing at the table like move away so they're not pelted in the head. And before it reaches the small Tabaxi, it's caught in the air tenderly by 3 fingers before fed to him. And he just takes it with his hands and almost like a corn on the cob, just begins
Happily
feasting
nibbles on it.
Yeah. Within a few minutes, you see the dark hair with the shock of white running down the left side of his head as Jaquise begins to walk up, his goatee, short chin beard, brown eyes, wearing a sleeveless version of the Bygone Guard's armor with a clean white ruffled shirt underneath. He comes up. Oh, hello. To be fair, I was a little bit busy today, but you caught me I was visiting with another captain. You kind of lost them just a few minutes ago, but how can I be of assistance?
Coil slowly looks over to the severed head, then back to Jack.
While we were in these sewers killing these Keltices for the job posting,
They were in our sewers. That's not such a good thing.
yes, we found a portal of sorts and a corpse.
He quickly looks around. This should probably be carried on in my office.
Sure.
Right then. Do we need to bring that? As he points to the Keltis head that you're holding in one hand.
I hope not.
No, this should go in the garbage. She brought it.
Thought that you wanted proof.
We brought a
Here
bunch
We
of
brought the
tails.
tails. We brought the tails.
The head is cooler, guys.
Please do not make a mess of this place. The privateers will not be very happy.
I think she beat you to it. It smells
He
really bad.
Looks about at some of the blood spatters that have like been shaken out of the head.
Oh.
They'll be cleaning that later.
Take a bowl of soup and I follow you.
As you walk down the steps through the entryway, I will say that who's going to go? As he kind of gestures. COIL, SAAKA.
What? I want to get.
You should go and find
I
out.
wanna-
That's where you should go.
Are you gonna put me there, Grandpa? Try it.
No.
Try it.
If it fails, Kara's gonna get Bane broken.
I'm already at 6 health.
If only I could cast.
Okay. You are led back into the office. The same on the right wall, the two thin and tall bookcases chock full of books and several different what seems to be personal journals or writings or even like small folded maps that have been placed into like book holdings and bookcases. You do see the same picture of the stoic and large warship cutting through massive wave. On the left wall, you see an armor stand in the left corner. It's sitting just at the foot of the bed, and within the center, the nice carpet, the desk. Jaquise, as you enter, closes the door. You see that he bolts it, looks to you all. The candlelight within this room spreading only a few feet, but at least lighting most of this room. He goes to a lantern that's by the foot of his bed in between the armor stand and that within a few feet and lights it, bringing better light. He turns. Well?
Did Hasela tell you about the knolls in the coal mines of Cruelder?
I did get a letter not too long before I met you lot about that.
Did she report about the heart and the creature that was summoned inside the coal mines?
Yes, it was all told to me.
We found another one of those hearts and another creature within the sewers.
Underneath Repton.
Yes. There was also a corpse of someone who was torn in half carrying a sewing kit with thread that matched the petals of the portal thing.
So, was he a cultist?
That I do not know. I have no idea what links these two occurrences, but I thought it right that you should know.
And this being, was it the exact same that stepped out?
No, it had a similar aesthetic, but this one was unlike the other, not the vulture-like.
And I described like what that creature was in relation to like the previous vulture-like creature we fought before.
He looks at you and he goes, never heard of anything like that. I haven't heard of anything like the last one either.
SAAKA went inside the portal, not of her own volition, but had a glimpse of the other side.
And I point to SAAKA.
And what is it that you saw at the other side of this?
I relate to him what I saw in the portal as I'm slurping the pea soup. It's like every other bite.
Gotta make a roll for him.
Roll for anger about soup.
No.
Never another pop, please.
He stands up. You see that he goes over to one of the bookcases. Describe what you saw one more time.
What part?
About the different sections of cities.
I relate to him. What was relate to me about cities again?
You tell about the two different, like, as if it was looking at two different broken cities, two different places. The much more imperial lilac city, the red torn banisters and banners, the broken pieces, and then the purple sifting sands, the large white trees, the bunker-like buildings. You see that he begins to flip through.
Is that fucking fucking death guy's domain?
Oh, God.
Is that Novak's place?
I don't think so.
Purple was his whole thing, and
I
bunker-like
know.
buildings was his aesthetic.
There's those two different kind of cities you were looking at, and then
You see that he takes a piece of paper,
oh shit.
tosses it on the table. He goes, I do not know of the first place that you talk of. I have very little experience, but when I was but a lad, these were writings that were made, descriptions of a city. Rahnvaseer.
Yeah.
Don't write so my head, it's
Oh my gosh. Alright.
But that
That's the noise that Coil made.
That's good. You don't even remember Rahnvaseer, child.
the
No.
9-year-old had no idea.
Thought of yet.
He knows that it sounds menacing.
I would like you to make a history check here.
I am 9 years old. I have no idea.
That's a 20 plus 8, motherfucker. I was in Rahnvaseer when it fell.
Rahnvaseer, also known the City of Nightmares, was a city crafted and made by the harbinger of death himself, Nilvek, a man who forced his way into the realm of the gods. He did not find a way to become a quasi or a part deity. He tore down the door and broke into the realm of deific power. Same with the guardians and harbingers. And unlike the crow, who was simply the harbinger of the veil, the ferryman, he took the title of death. However, he was beaten and defeated by a group known as Kavaius Olin. As for what happened to Rahnvaseer was never known, as after being beaten, it was torn and thrown into a plane where no one knows how or where it is within the Outer Plains map. It has just been lost for the past 3 centuries or so. And although many different expeditionaries and explorers have tried to travel there with their parties, they have come back with nothing. There's been no trace of that place since its disappearance.
It should mean 3
3
decades.
decades.
3 decades. Thank you.
I was like,
Yeah, not 3
did I
centuries. Thank you.
miss
I'm not that
something?
old.
Yeah. Care.
That's a time skip.
I am 300.
Plot twist, I'm actually just a really, really fucked up elf.
I'm so ugly.
Snake eyes, decrepit.
It's a
Talks
weird
like a
skin
smoker's
condition.
lung. My bad. Thank you. That was slip of the tongue.
You're funny. He's dying.
Care is dying, everyone.
This is what sends him over the edge.
His dementia's getting to him.
I really like smoker's lung elf.
Who's the long elf?
My heart hurts. Yeah. You good?
I'm so old.
Lung cancer made him bald for some reason.
It's the chemo.
What chemo?
Greater restoration chemo.
Cast shaking flame on me again.
We got radiant damage.
It is.
Alright.
Right.
Anyways.
Oh, my soul hurts. Thank you.
But if what is to be taken as what SAAKA saw as true, it means that she has just stumbled upon to its location.
So that's not excellent, all things considered.
Especially since we've seen it twice. The last what,
Any and
30
all
days?
threat that there was destroyed as far as most know. But most continents that went to the core four were at least warned that we could be getting strange creatures. of course, was a lad, no Kyle, but I remember that a lot of the bygone guard that existed then were preparing for different creatures of shadow that had escaped from its destruction. But there was supposed to be no power left. It was just an abandoned city.
How much of the cult of Nilvac survived his fall, I wonder?
Well, I mean, these are the sheets of papers and notes about Rahnvaseer itself, as some of our expeditionists went out and then reported back to us. Not us specifically, but the yesteryear Lyceum, which works along with the Turnian Unity. They are very much into the past, present, and future of what could come for the history of not just No Kyle, but Ithalian. And so they were excited to go explore and attempt to find, but none of their drifters or archivists or anything found anything.
So what does this mean exactly?
Well, it means that you have found a city that was 30 years lost.
Let me tell you, it was not an abandoned city, and whatever supposedly happened, it's up and running, and there's many creatures ready.
And the door used to go in or come out is closed.
We closed this one, but it's apparent that it's easily opened.
To a city that was supposedly lost.
Ah, yes, who would have thought to stitch together some parts and do some magic bullshit to get open a door?
Well,
From the
it
wizard.
means that both sides are right. If it still exists, it's in a plane somewhere, but no one's been able to find it for 30 years, which means that there's somewhere it exists. But
Someone keeps opening them.
I would doubt that it's just a door to Vocal Coast or Sile Ill away from us, though. It's not exactly like an easy transport.
May not be easy, but someone's doing it very frequently.
When was the last time you saw the last one, Krotek?
30 days ago, about?
Yes, a month ago.
So it takes, if we at least assume that we had that much time, unless there are several others that we don't know about.
That's what we were.
You have the resources about this. We unfortunately are just a band of mercenaries.
I will send others through the sewers, do not worry. But was it already there?
I stumbled upon it in the forest, and
What forest? Are we talking about the woods of Commoner's Lane, just
It
northwest
was
of us, or
north-
was it the Thistlewood?
it was the Thistlewood.
Within the Thistlewood, okay. So those two are connected.
It's more northwest, but it's in the Thistlewood.
The Thistlewood is northwest of
Oh,
us, yes.
I stumbled upon him when they were just this cloaked figure and two beasts that we fought.
So it wasn't. Was it finished then?
No, it was about to be finished, but he was stitching the flesh together when I went to get these people. And then when we came back, he was finished and the portal was open.
So this could mean that we have time?
I don't know if the
If it was a month of the last one and it was this one, if we are. It's an assumption.
But how are these people getting the ritual if that's what it is?
Who is telling them and why? I suspect that the corpse down there is not the mastermind of this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your name is SAAKA?
Yes.
Well, we've never really truly met. Just making sure.
SAAKA, this is Jackie's.
Okay.
Ciao.
It is polite in our culture to introduce each other's names.
And
I
you
know.
must be, I've heard his name referenced, COIL.
Yes.
Go ahead. You three are in this room, so I will tell you this. I cannot make an official parchment, but I will make a letter for you. In your own time, I will say do this. I cannot have all the information that we would seek on this, but we would need answers. In your own time, make your way to the bastion on the pedestal. It's north of us, northwest. It's the gigantic plateau that's within the center of DATH'TAN. You could hardly miss it. The easiest way, I would say, is take Commoner's Lane all the way to the checkpoint, climb the pedestal, and then from there, get to the bastion. That's where our entire foundation is based. I do not have the power to do it, but I will request that you are secretly going to be under the employ of Bygone Guard on a much more regular basis, should you wish. It would come with benefits, it would come with pay, and it would give you resources to help us all search for the same answer. I don't have the type of authority to just pass on something like this, but if you were to take a suggested note to one of our leaders there, then I'm sure that we could get something worked out.
I don't know if I'm that passionate about this project.
I can only speak for myself, but I am quite interested in working alongside you and making certain that whatever the fuck this is, we don't have any more Rahnvaseer open. You might have been a lad in those times, but I was old enough to see the purple skies. I do not want that to occur again.
Understood.
There are those of us who are too young to remember, and I wanted to ensure they don't have to experience that.
I can agree. But he is dead.
His cult may live on, and the Harbinger of Death may have tricks. This Kobayas'Olin, or whatever they called themselves, may not have finished the job.
Or someone has at least picked up the pieces.
Does he want to keep the heart?
That's his prerogative.
Heart?
That's what we've taken to call the fleshy portals they enter through.
I take the bag, the double-bagged sack.
This is what remains of the one that we destroyed in the tunnels.
I don't know if I want to see it.
Hasela has the other one, I believe.
Yeah, she does.
He opens it while you hold it, closes it immediately.
Might be in your best interest to keep this one.
Yes, I will have that taken. Set it on the floor for now.
Put down.
COIL. I will not answer for you. Do you wish to work under the employ of the Bygone Guard and deliver this message as we have been asked? You've heard Captain Jacques and what he said.
Do I have to work as a guard? I'm not very good at guarding things.
It would be as a partnership, so to speak. You would not be ruled over by us, so to speak, as I don't know if we'd want to be represented by you, no offense.
I'm sorry.
No
You have
problem.
made the child feel bad.
It is much more of a, once again, discreet thing if you were to take this up. It would just be, see that Even here, he kind of looks around and you are completely alone as he... Nilkaio is a place where it is very a dog-eat-dog world. Several different factions working for themselves, their own goals, purposes. The Bygone God was made a long time ago under the sole purpose of keeping people safe, and we still believe in that part. But we are pushed back against in a lot of politics. What I am suggesting is a bit more off the books than all. You would work, but you would not be known about, and you would not share your weight or gain. At certain points, you may not have the same pull in some areas as you would others. There, from the Turnian Unity, which pretty much runs each one of the islands, there's pretty much a representative for each island. Here we have Carvelican. But then there is Headcaster Ikolai, and then Solan May, Faith Mother. They make the Turnian Unity, and they themselves are their own power. They are the heads of each one of these places. They work together. From there, there's anywhere from the Petitioners to the Yesteryear Lyceum. We all together make the Turnian Unity run. We help make Nilkaio run, but we are not always unified. So, what I am suggesting is a bit more of a covert mission. I would not say barrel through everywhere. I wouldn't say dash to each place. Take your time. Be discreet. Find out what you need to find out, but don't let anyone catch on to your trail.
Sure thing.
In return, we won't be breathing down your necks.
Understood. One thing, Captain Jackies.
Yes.
If I may speak for COIL for a moment. He is, like myself, a caster. And he has been very careful so far. We have half of his signature for his ability to cast, and we need a...
How many of you are there?
In total, myself, him, CAEDRIK, KELSION. Those are the proper casters. I do not know what...
Proper cast. Oh, that's right. Bloodhound.
There's him, and...
Don't tell me she can just do things too.
No,
Wait a second, can you?
No. She is quite strong, but magic is not her forte.
Alright.
So us four...
There is still another that casts though.
I don't think I've ever seen...
You saw ANETH turn COIL into a turtle.
Oh wow, I don't remember that. And it turned okay.
For a split second, for 6 seconds.
Oh right, she blue magicked. What is it?
Wild
magicked.
There is one touched by magic, but I don't think she casts.
I will question you on that part later.
I have no answers. They are beyond my reach.
Come back in 2 days. I will have a document sent to the apothecary for each and every one of you.
Understood.
I will have it sent back and I will sign it myself.
Much appreciated.
In those 2 days, do not do something dumb.
Understood. COIL, are you paying attention?
Mm-hmm.
Be careful, please.
Okay.
So, once I reach the bastion, is there anyone I'm supposed to be reaching in particular?
There is a few. Before you reach the bastion, upon climbing, you will probably be right front face in Conduit's Call and Chimney's Checkpoint. It's a fortress. Actually, he was just here a moment ago. Captain Rahnvaseer is in charge there. You should be able to find him, and perhaps you could just get another signature on the parchment I will give you. The more captains that are behind it, the better for you. If I am well liked within here, but the more signatures you have, the better. But